Ladies, gentlemen, it is week number 6 and Wednesday, which means Wednesday Night Lights. With me here in the booth, we've got Charlie and, of course, Discounts as well here as usual. Guys, how you doing tonight?
Doing great. Always great night for Wednesday Night Lights.
That's right. We're here. And listen, spring break's over. Everybody's got to get it back on the grind. Goofing off. Beach time's over, Bear Light.
That's right.
It's time for move-in time because we got 3 weeks left in the season. This is the second to last week of divisional play. So we've got everyone's going to be facing off kind of those divisional crowns. We got one more week next week, and then it's the flex week at the end of the year to break those ties. I guess we'll go into the whole schedule here in a little bit, but I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, it's a big week. Could be pivotal for a lot of these teams because we see a lot of teams at 3-2, teams at 2-3 that are right on that cusp of the top 12 that'll be making the playoffs this time around here, Charlie. I know that's a recent change. So let's go ahead and take a look at the standings and see where each of these teams are. And you see all the talent from top to bottom in the standings here, including Rocky River here that gets in at number 11 as it stands today, right? Because we still have a lot of Rocket League to play.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of teams that are at that 2-3, 3-2, win-loss record, and those are the teams that need to win these next couple weeks to stay in this top 12.
Yep.
And we talk about the regions as well for the CMS League. I know we've gotten so many teams that are really close. And Charlie, before this broadcast started, you were talking about the South Division and how impactful these teams are and how close that race is going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the South Division, you've got Audrey Kell, JT Williams, South Mech, and Providence just here on this top of the standings. 4 out of the 5 teams are in the top, and the Myers Park isn't too far behind. They're in the race as well. So South Division, incredibly tough. In the West Division, you've got 2 favorites right there, Olympic and Palisades, number 4 and number 6. They're kind of clear in the top, although Philip O'Berry's sitting there. They've won 3 games in a row. They're in 10th. East Division, it is anybody's game. Rocky River, Independence, Garinger, all within 1 game of each other. Butler's right behind them as well. And then in the North Division, we do have kind of some clear leaders with Huff and Mallard Creek pulling ahead. Charlotte Engineering could make a late run as well. So really everything to play for here in the last 3 weeks. And we should look, too, at the second page of the leaderboard there so you can see some of the teams that are fighting to get into some of those top 12 spots right there. College of Engineering, Myers Park, East Mech, Butler, they're all 1 win away from qualifying. And even teams like Charlotte Virtual and West Charlotte, they got a shot still. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking here, and I'm seeing a lot of names that could be a lot higher. So I'm looking for, Myers Park to kind of bounce back here. They've got a solid team. I mean, we've seen this team in some big wins. They've had a couple of tough losses. They're on a losing streak of 2, but, this is the pivotal week, and that's why we talk about it is because I really, truly expect them to take a step forward. But, obviously talking about it is different than going out on the pitch and actually executing.
yeah, and we've got them on the stream today. If we want to pull up the schedule real quick, Myers Park's going to be facing up against JT Williams, actually. So that's going to be a little bit later in the stream. That's our 6:30 game. And by the way, the 8:45 Independence Philip O'Berry game, that has gotten moved over to the gray stream. This is the violet stream officially internally. So there you go, guys. We got rid of A and B because they're always equal anyway. So we're just going to use colors now. So the over on the gray stream.
Technically,
that will be the Independence Philip O'Berry. But we're kicking off here with South Mac and Prov. Should be an interesting game.
100%. I mean, and the rest of those matchups are going to be cool too. But remember, we have a second stream that you can check out too. If you take this broadcast, literally copy and paste it into your browser, and add a B at the very end, what you'll have is the B stream. Or wait, unless we have changed that.
It's now the gray stream.
It is the gray, so it's CMS Esports.
But it's still the same URL.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
But it's the gray stream.
Yeah.
Over on the gray stream, we're kicking off with Audrey Kell looking to stay undefeated here against Charlotte Engineering. Independence versus East Mech here too. Olympic, you would expect to try and take care of business here at West Charlotte. That being said, not necessarily an easy game no matter what, especially if West Charlotte has their full roster. They've been hitting the practice pretty hard too.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. West Charlotte can give them a scare for sure. Palisades against Harding. Harding looking for their first win of the year. I mean, that's going to be a West Division matchup.
That's right.
And then North Mac and Mallard Creek. North Mac also looking for their first win. So.
All right, we got the schedule at hand, and so it's time for the national anthem. So please join us now for the playing of it. So we hop back into our discussion as far as the first game kicking off. And we'll take a look at the starting lineups here momentarily, because this is one of those rivalries that we've seen in traditional sports. We see it again here in esports, specifically in Rocket League, in South Mech. One of those teams that I consider the gatekeeping team. Both of these teams at 3-2. But when you look at it on paper, I mean, the way that Skimmit's been playing, obviously, Peyton and C Hercules, as well as a combination that has really come into their own here. You'd expect that South Mech have the edge here, but now both teams at 3-2, that if you take a sleeper day here, you're going to fall. So Providence has that opportunity to play spoilers, number one, but also be able to launch into that 4-2 spot, which feels a whole lot better moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, they're in that powerhouse division. I mean, this is a huge game for both teams to just try and keep up with teams like AK and JT Williams.
Yeah, you can't afford to be dropping games, so this game is crucial. Providence has won 3 in a row, but they haven't played a game in division in that winning streak. So they're 0-2 in division, 3-0 outside of division. See if they can pull off a win in division here. It's never easy against South Mech. South Mech's gotten their hard games out of the way already. They played AK, played them tough, couldn't win. They played JT, played them tough, went to game 5, couldn't win. So, you know, they're going to be a team, if they can get past this Providence hurdle, if you're South Mech's coach, you're thinking, okay, let me get this win. Let me go ahead and wrap up the season 6-2, be in a decent seeding position. So.
One thing that I will highlight in this game, every time they've won, both teams, they've 3-0'd.
Yeah.
So how cool is that they haven't dropped the map when they've won, or map round, and that can't happen. Not this game.
That's right. Let's see. Let's. I mean, hopefully we get to game 4, game 5. We'll see how it goes, but you know, I think we're ready to kick off. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Let's send it to the pitch now for game number 1 between Providence and South Mech, and see if South Mech can get off to that hot start. 5 minutes on the clock, game number 1 in this best of 5, and we begin now.
Wednesday night lights. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. We shall. And that's a great drop down right there. Already South Mech on the board. Bear already with 9 seconds just in this game, and already putting up their goal.
Yeah, and it's going to be a sub coming in here, too.
Yes.
This is not even the typical, third coming in. Typically, see Hercules you see on the pitch. This time around, not to be, but still getting involved nonetheless. That just speaks to the depth of South Mech and how they're able to take
I had
the
to
lead
double check the name. I was like, wait, what name was that? Yeah, I haven't seen that one. So great already. Subs making plays. You got to love it. Wednesday night lights, we're here.
We'll see if South Mech can continue that prowess that they showed up with pretty early. As Providence, another mistake. This is a tap out in front, a chance, but it's going to be Omega to get to it here for Providence defense. Skimmit tries to keep on it as well, but it'll be Ocean Man. Well, trying to cause a little bit of problems here for the South Mech offense. The forecheck has been strong, continues to be so as Peyton will try to get through, but he was denied. Skimmit back on it as well. He's got a chance to flick, but good defense again from Omega.
I mean, they're just keeping it on offense. Skimmit and Peyton both just every time just going straight for the goal, not even letting them get past half midfield the whole time.
Yeah, for South Mech, I think it's important that they do play that north and south game. The second that you try to get fancy, Providence has been really good in transitional play, and so you don't want to let them do so. But Skimmit reset, he's done it. 2-0 now for South Mech with an amazing mechanical play from the star himself.
Look at how patient he was on that. Both committed on the goal. Just a great play right there by Skimmit. But, that's just Skimmit for you.
Yeah, honestly, we've seen so much of that this season. Last season, it doesn't matter. He's going to see it in future seasons as well. He has been excellent and continues that here this week. And South Mech now with that 2-0 lead. Said don't get fancy. Skimmit said I don't care.
Yeah, no,
I'm still doing it.
That's not a part of his vocabulary. To see another goal right here by Prince the Kid, the sub. This is the second goal already for him, Bear.
I mean, and that's 2 shots, good shooting percentage, and that was well placed. I mean, Legend had a decent opportunity to get across, make that save, and just couldn't do it because of the placement of that shot.
It was perfectly placed, and like you said, he was there, just could not knock it away.
Back on it yet again. That's just the culture that South Mech has really created here as far as the Rocket League team goes. It's just constant, consistent pressure. As you see Peyton back up for it as well. 2 commit there from Providence. Skimmit's holding back, waiting for it. Let Legend miss backwards. He's still going to follow this one. A chance to touch you far side. Almost got that one too.
I was going to say, he's about to show me something I haven't seen before. Skimmit does that from time to time. And but Prince the Kid, I'm just hats off to this as he's just keeping that offense going, and so is Peyton. Skim it, but now it looks like Providence has a breakaway. Had their opportunity, but right back on the ball.
And it's been not a whole lot. We've seen them have these opportunities, so you want to see them convert. Give them that chance. Unfortunately for them, South Mecca has been all over it constantly. Now Skim it will play to himself here on the side wall. The flip reset. And that's an example of getting too fancy there.
Yes.
You use all your boost in that corner and really just surrendering the possession back to Providence. But luckily for them, they'll still have possession here moving forward. A chance to jump out in front for a bump. Ocean Man can't get to it, but good support there from Omega to get it.
Yeah, he was hoping for the follow-up to be right behind him, which that would have been an easy goal. But, teammates not, as a sub, they're not really used to that same kind of passing as well. Skim it needs to get this one away, but no, that's going to be a score for Providence. Ocean Man now on the board.
And that's what I'm talking about. You can't even rest for a second because you know this division is so stacked that they're going to find a way around, and sure enough, they were capable of doing that to get it back within 2 here. And Skim it was the one that we saw. Just show off a little bit in that corner. Held back, and unfortunately that touch there in the goal, there wasn't any kind of urgency in his gameplay there, and they took advantage of it.
We'll see if he bounces back after that goal, because usually I feel like when Skimmets get scored on or whatever happens, he's usually good at getting that bounce back goal, and see it time and time again. He might have an opportunity right here, and there it is. Slams it in and gives his team 4 points.
Yeah, perhaps let off the gas pedal for a second, but then right back to it, and Peyton for that setup again. We talked about seeing Hercules constantly. Obviously, Skimmets on the dock hits you. Peyton always seems to find a way through a defense that maybe you thought that the space wasn't there, but Peyton always seems to find a way. Again, is on the better half of that assist this time around. You see Ocean Man trying to press in, but again, Peyton, the man on the spot, to clear it back out.
Providence just get back. They got the first goal. They got the first goal jitters out of the way, but now we're going to see a possible another goal. Great save, though, by Ocean Man, and now it looks like they're playing a little bit better defense here, and see if they can turn that defense into offense.
Back up for this one. Does get the flip reset, tries to flip back into it, but really just gives away it again. Peyton back on it, though, and nobody's back for Providence. The rotations seem very forward, and they need to make sure that they're playing responsibly. Even in this game number 1, when you're down by 3, you don't want to press too far forward because you want to get into better habits than that moving forward in this best of 5.
Yeah, especially if you get down on yourself or down in a game, you go back to the old ways or maybe just play scattered. Yeah. And then that's kind of what you see right now in Game 1 with Providence. Hopefully this does not carry on to or into Game 2.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's a little bit later in the game that you want to start those forward, plays or rotations in that aggressive nature. But in a game number 1, I mean, it's just not the right time to start getting those habits. But right now, good shot though. Oh, Peyton was able to come back and make up some ground, lots of ground, in order to make that save.
I thought that was a wide open goal. Peyton said, or he thought otherwise, and he was there to knock that one out and keep Providence still held to just 1.
And back on it, Skim it, waits. The patience was there. This one will pop back across. They had an opportunity for a shot, but I mean, either way, South Mecca is going to walk away with the Game 1 win. It's just a matter of if it's going to be 5-1 or 4-1. And right now, Brent's going to try to make it 5. This will tap back, but eventually gets to skim it. But whether the game's on the line or not, these high scorers love to try and get one more, as it's just going to go wide, hits the ground. South Mecca.
Yeah, and this is kind of what you expect from South Mech, how well they played against JT and AK, and now they're doing that against Providence. But like you said, this division is just a powerhouse division. Watch out for Providence.
Yeah, and I called out Skimmit for not having urgency for a moment or two in that game. For Providence, it didn't seem like they really had that much aggression, or it didn't feel like they had that much energy.
Absolutely.
Like, it just seemed like South Mech took the wind out of their sails super early in that one, and maybe a little bit too early to justify the thinking behind it for Providence. I like to see them come back out with
felt like their
power.
Backs against the wall a little bit. If I feel like if they can come out in Game 2 a little bit more attack mode, see if they can get it done.
And, I mean, to be fair, South Mech will make you feel that way.
Yes.
But if you let it happen to you, right?
Yep.
And And so all we're saying is they need to get back in there and at least control a little bit of the game. It starts with 30 seconds of real possession time offensively, and then you try to build it up from there. But to constantly get away from your game plan, just a couple minutes in, that seemed to be the mistake here from Providence. Would like to see them calm down a little bit. You're not always on your heels. Eventually they'll run out of boost, right? To some degree.
We'll see.
I'm not sure if that's the case. We'll have to find out. Let's head into game number 2 now and check out if Providence can make that adjustment here. 5 minutes on the clock as we check it out. But first, we got the STEM challenge, of course. Olympic going to kick us off for week 6 of STEM. So we'll check on the video for you. It seems like Olympic does have their video. We'll just have to find it.
We'll have to find it. All good. But going back into this game, what does Providence need to do besides just playing a little bit more aggressive? Do they need to be taken out, skim it? Any other strategies? What you can think what they might be doing?
Yeah, it's tough to say because even Peyton with his setups there, it took 2 members of the Providence defense to even try and attack that one little area, and then Skimmett was there to clean up on the other side. It's so difficult to kind of approach it that way. It's all about the anticipation, right? You know that they're going to look for Skimmett. Skimmett likes the solo plays as well, so you have to find Skimmett on the pitch. It may not be about the bumps and demos this time around. It may be about challenging the ball whenever he gets it instantly, right? Make sure that you're on top of it, that your defense does not allow him to create any of those chances, because the moment he goes in the air and you don't have a body on it, forget about it.
Yeah,
it's going to the
going
back
in.
Yeah, or at least on net. So you have to have somebody back to defend as well if you let it happen.
And the thing is, he could be faced the other way and still make some backwards goal. You never know with him. But so as soon as he has that open space, that's when there's trouble.
Yeah, and it's one of those, if you've played competitive Rocket League before, it's one of those opponents that you hate playing against because they're constantly just in your face. They don't let you do anything because they're constantly just turning around and challenging you again if you need to it.
We saw that with Peyton, though, too. So it's like you have Skimmett and Peyton to deal with. And it's kind of ridiculous how much pressure they're just putting on Providence.
All right, let's see and transition into game number 2 now, as we'll figure out this stem in just a bit. And we'll see if Providence can get to it. The challenges are going to be important, but that takes boost control. And Skimmett's been doing a great job to keep that control of boost, which is important for this Providence team to have. And it just seems like they're going out of their way, out of rotations in order to get that boost in the first place.
Absolutely. And remember, it's a best of 5, so Providence, as long as they're not getting down on themselves, in those types of games, then I feel like they can have a bounce back. And Providence is another team that's been sweeping others. So, just to get that confidence back going into game 2.
100%. We'll see if they can get that going. We'll see if we can get the stem going.
Yeah.
Either way, we'll have a treat for you. Again, this South Division has been so hot, and, Providence has always been considered outside of that echelon because South Mech is the gatekeeping team, if you will. And right now as it stands, South Mech is most likely going to be in the playoffs because of how they're able to approach this type of game. Like Charlie had mentioned, they've gotten all the hard challenges out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're going to have those challenges again come playoff time. It's not going to go away.
They 3-0'd Independence, and that was a team that's, they're in the top 12, I'm pretty sure. And
they're at number 12 right now.
So they're in the top 12, and that's a team that I thought beginning of this season, hey, watch out for this team. But nevertheless, we're here with the Olympic High School. Stim.
Hey everyone, it's me, Chief, and I'm here with our app, MoneyMine. MoneyMine is an app designed to help young mind to be able to succeed financially by teaching them about the different range that all involve contributing to be smarter in finance. Here we are at the title page, and as you see, there's a login and sign up button. Press it, and it will send you to choose where you sign up or log in. Here we are at the sign up page where you simply sign up if it's your first time, but if you already sign up, you can just go to the login page and simply log in. Now we're in the main page. Here there are buttons that are labeled with the different and helpful information that you could choose from. Here we are at the setting, which right now only have dark mode, but we are planning to add more. For every tab like here, we will have around 5 video planned to be added to help educate while making it fun by doing things like skit.
You have the classic sign off all the time,
Yeah.
right? It's just Olympic signing off.
One thing I liked about that, they even had the dark mode option.
Yeah.
Are you a dark mode person? I
Of course,
always
yeah.
do. If there's an option for dark mode, I have to do it.
Yeah, number one, because I'm a gamer and I like it dark in
Absolutely.
the right. It just gives you the vibes. Number two, my eyes have always been really sensitive, so
Yeah.
it really is there to help out those individuals too.
That's me too. Absolutely.
100%. So love what Olympic did there to add that aspect as well. And so once we get to the judging as well, we'll see exactly what the judges are looking for pretty heavily.
Absolutely.
Not only in this matchup, which we'll see of the applications or the apps that these second-year teams are putting together, but also the games as well that they're developing if they're first season for the schools. So we'll get to check that out too. Until then, we've got another game, as Tark calls it. It is going to be the break of the stream, which is game number 2 now. We'll see if Providence can bounce back and give them a challenge. Right now, it just hasn't happened. South Mech look to just take care of business in game number 2 and head to match point if they can.
Yeah, let's see if Providence is going to be able to step on the gas here, because right now it looks like they've been pumping the brakes. I mean, it's just one of those things where as Peyton, he's definitely not pumping the brakes, and that's for South Mech slamming that in. Watch this again.
Yeah, again, going high is Prince being a part of the scoring chance, though. That seems to be like he is just constantly goal participation rate at an all-time high for a sub here.
Absolutely. Filling in perfectly. I feel like they haven't even missed a beat. And that's what you want from your backups, your subs. Going into a game, not even having to worry about, if your sub's going to be able to handle. And obviously, Prince is doing his thing. So he's handling business.
Honestly. And just seems to be, seems to have a chip on his shoulder, just trying to prove they can be on a starting roster as well. So Providence, I mean, they're proving the same things, right? That they can be a top team. And right now, although they haven't shown up quite yet in the goal department, here's where you need to challenge Skimmett in order to give yourselves a chance. They're able to get to him, almost got beat by Peyton, but a good job to challenge there in the meantime. But nobody back, and they're able to tap again. No, they missed. And Omega back the other way. They try and transition, and Ocean Man that close to being able to even the score.
Yeah, that was a walk-in goal. I feel like we both thought that was just going to be automatic, and somehow pulled that left, hit the crossbar, and wow. Yeah. South Mech's just up only 1-0 now.
You don't see that very often.
No.
And especially, the two players that have been on the pitch since the beginning of the season having a miscommunication there. Yeah. So we'll see if that gets to them. It typically hasn't in the past, traditionally. For South Mech, they've been really good at bouncing back in those situations. But Providence need to take advantage of it. This will bounce high above the net. They can't get to it. And Skimmett will bail instead and allow Peyton to get this next challenge. But Ocean Man was able to beat him to it. And will be left in this 1v1 situation. Good job to challenge Skimmett, force him backwards. We need to see a whole lot more of that.
Yeah, and it feels like anytime South Mech gets the ball in Providence's area, it comes down to where Providence feels like they're just bunching up in the corners,
Yeah.
and that is not what you want to see. Because if you're all three committing, this leads to easy goals. So, so far it's still only 1-0. Hasn't left to too many goals, but it definitely could in the future.
Yeah, you saw them just play a little bit farther back from Skimmett than we would prefer. And when that happened, he was able to get that extra touch up and over to the far side and allow Peyton the chance. Those chances cannot keep developing here. Another shot, and it looked like Omega kind of hit that backwards. So got a bailout from Ocean Man. As this will challenge the box, but Providence over that one too. And I mean, credit where credit's due. Providence has done a better job of challenging, and it looks like they have controlled, a decent amount of time, 20 to 30 seconds in this first
Yeah,
half.
absolutely. You're not seeing Skimmett do what he was doing in game one to where he has all this time. They have been pushing it a little bit further. They're not completely on it. He does have a little bit of time, so be careful on that because just, a couple seconds with Skimmett. Like right now, what we see, let's see if he's going to be able to do anything with this. And yes, it is, as he slams it down for South Mech to go up 2-0. Watch this again.
Again, just a split second because right there you see Omega go challenge, but even just maybe 1.5 seconds after he left the ground, and that was too much time because he was able to maneuver his car in the air, which honestly a lot of students in the CMS League, Esports League, they're not capable of doing.
No.
So it's so difficult to get your mind in the right place to try and challenge something like that. It looked like a good challenge, yes, but still Skimmett able to put it away.
There's nothing, if you're Providence, nothing to hang your head on that. That is just a high-level play, high-level move by Skimmett, and, obviously just, turning heads like every week.
Yeah, exactly. We have seen it so constantly. But look at him challenge it. So Omega was up in the air for a minute trying to do an impression of Skimmett there, but couldn't quite find the back of the net, and so they'll have to backtrack here to the corner where they hold off a bouncer and right back at it. Love to at least the confidence it shows, showing here for Providence as they're constantly challenging and pushing this forward. It's just all about the execution now. So you've taken step one, but you do have to take step two if you want to challenge them.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely improved here in game two. You can see it just score-wise, and obviously that crazy Skimmett goal. I don't count that really against them. So I mean, they're doing really well on defense. They just need to get the offense clicking.
Here's a chance for Legend to step up, show maybe South Mech what he's made of. That's a good couple of touches there to get it past one of the defenders, but you got two more back in place as Peyton patiently plays that in the box. Seemed like it might have been a dangerous chance, but he knew how much time he had because of the communication he received from his teammates.
Another possible shot opportunity right there, but Prince is going to be there. Kick that in the corner. But it's going to go right back across goal. It's going to go over the top, though. Skimmett does a really good job to get that one out of there.
Yeah, showing pure control there to bring it back down to himself. That will be chipped past Peyton. He's got to retreat. A chance for Legend. It's there in the box. Oh, Shin couldn't get to it. 18 seconds left, and in transition is South Mech trying to kill time. But Omega, great opportunity to play it across. Prince got to it late, but there was nobody for Providence to try and tap that one back.
You got to have those follow-ups, Bear. If no one, the passes are great. You can pass it to anybody, but if no one's there to receive the pass, it's not worth anything, right? So that's kind of what we just saw there in game two. But I will say Providence has definitely stepped up their game after game one.
Certainly have. I mean, they've put their heart and soul into this game.
Absolutely.
And yet still South Mech was able to come out on the better side of it, which means South Mech, I mean, they're taking care of business just like we said they needed to.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, Providence is back against the wall. Let's see what they can do in game three.
It'll be tough. But we have another STEM submission, so let's get to it now and check out who's challenging Olympic. It's going to be this Providence STEM team. Let's check out what they put together here in Week 6.
Finding a suitable volunteering opportunity can be really difficult. Like, for example, let me Google volunteering options near me, and all the things that show up are either not valid at all or are very limited in quantity. This is where VCare comes in.
As you may know, people of all ages find motivation and reason to volunteer, whether it's to give back to the community, boost a resume, or even both. And despite this high demand, there's a lack of easy ways to identify volunteer opportunities. So, here at Providence High School, we developed WeCare. WeCare is an app that allows for people to find volunteer opportunities around them, or give back through donations. The app is very user-friendly and allows for people to give back to their local community in as many ways as possible. Let's take a quick look at the app now. So let's take a look at what we have so far. You can log in either as a charity sponsor or as a user. Let's take a look at the user login. So let's create an account and let's just use test@test.com and let's make our password all lowercase password. So now that we signed up, we can check our inbox for verification. Now, obviously that was a fake username and password, so we're going to use mine. Let's take a look really quickly at creating a post. Now, if you were creating a post to donate, you could be giving the organization and all of the reasons as to why you want to donate and the information attached with it. Now that we're going to get ready to post it, we'll submit, and Now we can go to the post page to view what we just submitted.
So there you go. I mean, you store that information. You have to make it, usable for the user at home. The user experience is everything, but you have to have the back end too, so that
And Tart's gonna love that because they showed their work.
Yep, exactly.
There
we
you go.
cover it pretty weekly, but that makes a whole lot of sense too.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, we have game number 3 ready and coming at you here. Providence a chance to try and force a game number 4, but for South Mech, it should be business as usual. Off the kickoff, we go into this game now.
Yeah, does South Mech have the broom out? I mean, are they ready to sweep one of their another division? I mean, or their division rival? And I think they're ready. I think they want it. I think Skim is ready. Peyton's ready. Prince is ready. But is, Providence ready? I don't think so. I think they're going to try to make this a series.
Yeah, Legend, who's typically, criticized for his speed versus the rest of the team here, just showed a whole lot of speed.
Yeah.
So I love seeing that, too. It's just strides forward for everybody on this roster. Gave Providence a real opportunity there. That being said, it'll be Peyton back to it. Skimmett's already up for this one. The shot off the backboard, and Prince will follow up, and the defense can't get to it. So South Mech gets a freebie. I mean, there was a lot of work to set it up, but at the end of the day, it was a tap-in.
Yeah, I mean, Peyton, Skimmett double committed, but Prince was the last guy to get there, and he placed it perfectly. Yep. And now on the board already within the first minute, South Mech up 1-0 in game 3.
Now the kickoff will favor South Mech as well. Actually goes into the hands of Providence. His Legend was ready to cheat up and get to it. So a drawn up play there off the kickoff for Providence to try and jump back on it. And you love seeing that strategy because the way that you get into games, really start feeling it like you're in control, is by drawing up those plays, right? Throw some fakes.
Yep.
Make sure that you're the one with the ball possession for an extended period of time, and that's a good way to do it, and Providence is starting to do that now.
Yeah, I felt, for sure in game 1, like you said, they were just kind of off balance. As soon after the first maybe minute, they just kind of were scattering, ball chasing. It just kind of just looked like they were everywhere, scrambling. Now it looks like they're a lot more composed, so a lot better. But Skimmett doing his thing, and great defense, though, by Omega.
Yeah, you don't want to wait that late to challenge, but when you do, it'll happen from time to time. You have to be ready for it and challenge it right there on the spot. Omega was able to hold on to it, stay up in the air, and anticipate where Skimmett was going to go with that flip reset opportunity. So great job to hold back down. Now Prince back on it, though. And now Legend left in a compromising position. Thought he was going to go higher. Instead, it'll be Prince to put them on the board now 2-0.
Such a smart play on not fully committing on this. Look at this. He knew he was going to be jumping up for the ball, so just waited for it to drop one more time and just snuck it in on the bottom of the net.
Yeah.
Great play, though, by Prince. He's playing phenomenal for being a sub for South Mech. This is just great to watch.
I'm telling you, that's got to give you confidence for South Mech as well, because I've seen crazier things happen where you take a couple of weeks off and it doesn't seem to happen for you. But Omega, I mean, it's still not taking time off here. They surrendered too early to South Mech, but they got back into it, and they've now cut the lead in half.
Yeah, and Skimmett was there, but still rolled off his car. Omega fully just went for the double tap and got it in. So, Providence now on the board and looking to tie this one up.
Inching ever so closely to making this a series, but continue to work. Peyton, a good challenge. Skimmett right back on it, though. Try to use a corner, but Prince maybe a little bit too quick to make that decision to hop up and play when Skimmett had an opportunity there. That's where communication comes in handy. These teams try and buckle it down, but there's been a couple opportunities both ways. They've been cleaned up on that front. Skimmett needed the touch there, though, and then he's able to get to it.
Yeah, that was beautiful. I mean, I was waiting. I'm sure Ocean Man's eyes just got big, thinking that he was going to have a shot, but, Skimmett took that away real quick.
Back onto it, but maybe got a little bit too much speed on that instance. Roll one here in the corner. So Peyton, I don't think Skimmett was part of that, though. I think it's going to be Peyton and Skimmett. So that is actually going to favor South Mech very heavily. Although they're not able to score on this opportunity, you imagine it's a matter of time.
Yeah, and it looks like the rule one is holding up in the corner. So until someone accidentally bumps each other, then we'll find out. But right now, Skimmett versus Peyton and Ocean Man. Ocean Man and Omega, right? Yep.
And you never know. You never know which of these players might actually prefer 2v2s, might be stronger in that aspect. And so, in this unique moment of the Rule 1 in Rocket League, where the front of the cars get locked in, I mean, you have to be creative and find a new way to get to it. Eden tried to put together a Skimmett-esque move, but it didn't work out for him. Providence right back out will pop and challenge Skimmett. Does a decent job with it here, too. Didn't break the Rule 1 either, because apparently that's a curse in Rocket League as well.
I think so. I mean, you know, definitely don't want to be that player to do it, especially on stream where you're going to be criticized while doing that. But yeah, Peyton and Skimmett, what a duo. But also Ocean Man Omega. This is actually a really good 2v2 right here.
Certainly, because they keep challenging, right? It's just constant, but Peyton read that one nicely. And so let's tap that into the back of the net. 3-1 now for South Mac after we just gave praises to Providence's 2v2 play.
Yeah, Peyton just got teed up by Ocean Man, and he just smacked that one right down the middle.
Love seeing it from South Mac. Business as usual, except Providence really has challenged South Mac. We're not just being polite. You know, we're not good cop, bad cop here, like we see sometimes in the STEM side. We keep it real here on the esports side of things, but right now it's been South Mac, you know, being able to hold off Providence at an arm's reach to put it in the correct way. But Providence a chance. We'll try to challenge. Skimmett does. Oh, it's Omega. Making Skimmett a little bit nervous there in that 1v1 situation.
That's his second goal this game, and also 3 saves himself. But Skimmett, you know, got the stop, but Omega knew where that ball was going to end up. That's going to be right back to him, and so he knew he had that shot opportunity. He nailed it, and now we have 45 seconds left to tie this one up for Providence. So to stay alive, I mean, you know, South Mech trying to close it out, but Providence just trying to hang on.
When you're beaten mechanically, it all comes down to, you know, intellect.
Yes.
And in that play, it was just the perfect read, held the flip in your back pocket until you really need to use it against Skimmett, who actually had a mistouch, which doesn't happen often, but if it does, you got to be ready for it, and Omega was. But back down, almost got another touch with Skimmett. Now the 20 seconds left, a chance for Providence to push. Ocean Man turns, he's collected it. Top of his car will go to the wall to try to get a little bit more height. This one will fall back down. A pinch there from the team. It's there for Ocean Man. He couldn't get his shot off. And now time will tick down. 4 seconds left. They'll try to play it past Skimmett, but he's got it on the ground. No, it's across to the box. But Prince is just going to let it fall. Wise play there from South Mech, and they've completed the sweep.
Yeah, and you know, give it to Providence. Each and every game they got better and better and just competed, you know, each and every game harder and harder. So, you know, but shout out to South Mech for closing it out. That was a close one.
Yeah, both teams actually deserve credit, you know, and that's what you've definitely covered. I think Providence really tried to fight back. It's not going to feel good, though, with that extra loss there in your pocket. But for South Mech, you get a little bit nervous. It was a sweep, but, like, Providence is one of those teams that you should just kind of push away with these.
Absolutely.
And they weren't able to
especially a division game. So this, you know, this bumps them up a little bit in the division. You know, they have AK and JT in their division. So, you know, they're just trying to, you know, keep up with them.
Yeah, and that's all sorts of confidence for Providence to experience more, better put, because going up against South Mech and really figuring out how to play against a team like that is definitely some great work they put in for that one. So we do have the judges for STEM here in week 6, but we really want to get to know what they were looking for on the app side, right, when they create their apps. So moving forward in this week, what will they be judged on? You know, what are some of the things that these judges are looking for? So they put together a video here. Check this out as far as what they are looking for in the STEM portion.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is week 6 of the Varsity STEM Showdowns. Malcolm, what was the week 6 competition all about?
Well, it was all about refining your video pitch, walking us through your app or game, and you know, implementing advanced features like a leaderboard, ChatGPT integration, or something that really hooks people in, then want to make them keep on coming back and you know, using your app or game.
So we're going to get into the next challenge in a second here, but this is so important. Right after we read the score, week 7 starts, and week 7 is when the competition turns into launching your app or your video game to the public. So 1 week from today, there will be no video submissions. We will be playing your game or using your app live, and then we will be judging you not just on that experience, but on how many people your marketing efforts have brought to use, play, and download the game. So let's get into the action. Olympic versus Providence to kick off this stream. Interesting challenge here. Malcolm, let's start with Olympic. Money Mind. They're starting to reconfigure the look I can see that. It still doesn't look that good to me. I mean, at this point, like I just really feel like there's a little more that could be done. You see some of the moving of the circles and the things like that are in the UI here, but I just think it needs more work.
Yeah, I think they need some design work. I've pointed them to some AI kind of logo icon generators, and haven't just seen that artistic development here.
Yeah. Providence, we care, the volunteer stuff. Good job showing the Google start. I thought that was really powerful. It was coming in. Like a lot of times people say, oh, well, it's so hard to do it. And you're like, well, is it really? But you actually came in there and said, let me find it. And then you're like, okay, well, what's this? It's hard for anyone to find it, let alone your own Gen Z peers. And you made that crystal clear. I thought that was a really strong start from that perspective. The dual logins, also good. A two-sided marketplace. You got the volunteers and the charities. That's a very powerful premise when you're building a platform or an app. I think you need to tighten up that UX, and you need to start figuring out, this is the moment this score is done, as you enter week 7, you're going to need to start figuring out how you're going to launch this. A two-sided marketplace is incredibly powerful. It's also very complicated and hard to launch. And at this point, I don't know that you're going to get a bunch of volunteers on there with nowhere to go volunteer. So you're going to need to immediately, your marketing plan needs to be to launch the app to the actual charities to be able to get them populated so that then you can move it. So you've got a double complexity to deal with.
Yeah, all of that exactly on point for Providence. I really like the idea of this app, and I thought, again, they had a strong intro. But I found the link to their app, and the sign up didn't seem to be working, so I couldn't actually test it. Yep.
Oh my! Now we're starting to. Let me tell you, that is not going to fly in starting in week 7 because we judge you based on us getting into it and using it. So that has to be fixed.
Yep.
Wow, that's wild. I guess that changes things. So where does that put you score-wise?
Well, I thought Providence really kind of punched above their weight here, and but because the auth wasn't quite working,
yeah,
I'm gonna go 1-1.
Yeah, I think that's exactly where I'll fall as well, 1-1, because they're onto something cool. But again, if it isn't working, well, all that's good. All frauds will be caught in week 7, my friends, because you can't fake logging in and user acceptance testing. So that leaves us right now with Olympic 2, Providence 2.
Other stream.
And again, the judging of the STEM portion is all about Tark trying to figure out the details of, does this app work, number one,
yeah,
right? And also, did you show how you're able to create it? Because you could help out others who are trying to build their STEM teams too.
Absolutely.
I mean, after all, rising tides raise all ships is the name of the game in esports. If the more people who know how to access and do things in STEM as well, the better, because it just helps out everybody overall. The ecosystem is better, more jobs created, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is every single week, he gives you a little bit of hint what you could be doing also to make your app better or game better.
Yep.
And it looks like a lot of these students are putting that into it. So very smart on listening too.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a huge part of it, right? And I think it goes a long way in life in general, because a lot of people will be telling you what you need to be doing different, or at least how you can improve yourself. And if you're not listening to it, you're going to be stagnant for a while.
At least hear them out. It doesn't. You don't have to agree on everybody or whatever they say.
Yeah.
What input they might have, but always just have it in the back of your mind. Okay, that was some advice. And it's up to you to take it or not. And
we're going to take a second to reflect on what we might be able to do better and take a quick break before the next series starts up, so don't go anywhere. You're watching the CMS Esports League. Welcome back to the Varsity Esports and STEM League for CMS. Again, alongside Discounts, my name is Bearlight. We're about to head into the next match here momentarily. Let's check out the starting lineups for these two teams, as well as Virtual High School. We'll go up against Rocky River, and for us, we've seen Rocky River improve like crazy.
Oh my goodness.
They've been so good in the past couple
They're
of weeks.
They're on a 3-win streak right now. Their last 3 games they won. They beat West Charlotte, Butler, and Myers Park in this past week too. So yeah, they are on a tear, and look forward to continuing that streak against Charlotte Virtue, who hasn't been playing the best, but they are, they're not winless. They did beat Harding in week 3.
That's right. Yeah, so they're looking to build off of that at least. Try to bring back that energy to put on the pitch, because when we saw them face off against Harding, when their confidence got rolling, this was a very strong team. So for Virtual, it is a matter of is your starting roster there? Their depth might be a little bit less so than a lot of these teams. We talked about it with South Mech having that depth and having subs come on and really be a difference makers here. So we'll see who gets on the pitch for CLT Virtual for this next lineup. Like you mentioned, them at 1-4. But Rocky River here is my focus point, because they're right on the cusp of the playoffs.
Right.
Number 2, they've got ID Faye, an all-star here, player here for the CMS Esports and STEM League. But on top of that, you said it, the last 3 matchups have been wins, and they've all been progressively harder, ending with Myers Park, a very tough matchup.
And this is a question. Wasn't ID Faye a captain, right, in the All-Star?
That's right.
So a captain, and also only in 9th grade as well.
Isn't that crazy?
That's awesome. So, great leadership in, being a freshman, still having that leadership. What a way to start your, esports career.
Yeah, and then you talk about, Swag Panda and Perk rounding out this roster, and having a leader like ID Faye as a freshman can sometimes go awry, right?
Yeah.
When you're having to listen to somebody a little bit younger than you, some players don't handle that as well. I credit Rocky River and the rest of their roster here with Perk and Swag Panda for being able to just know that ID Faye has been the better player of the teams, and just be able to listen to him and really take his advice as a leader as young as he is.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's just the maturity of that team, and understanding, hey, this kid knows what he's doing. Let's listen. He's been, he might be doing flip resets. Hey, I don't know how to do that. I'm going to listen to this kid. And, obviously it's been working the past 3 weeks.
So he's claiming, in the chats that we get to see behind the scenes, I know you don't get to see it at home, that he's up to Grand Champ 1, apparently.
Wow.
So he's listed as Diamond 2 on our sheets. Now, I don't know how long ago it was that he submitted this, but it couldn't have been any longer than a year that he submitted that. So in 1 year has had that much. And I believe him to some degree. I know he's definitely up there towards that Grand Champ 1 level.
You got to put in the work. You got to put in the hours. And once you do, that's what you see. You just see that, just improvement going through your ranks and game. And then, of course, you're seeing it now for your school. The last 3 weeks you've been winning. So, yeah, Rocky River's been doing it right, and leading them. ID Faye is just playing phenomenal.
Plus, that 14 and 15-year-old range apparently is the peak of Rocket League. We talk about
That's
Daniel in the league for RLCS, right on one side of the equation, and so it's incredible to watch these youngsters play.
The hand-eye coordination,
when
man.
you really start popping off, man.
It's the hand-eye coordination. It goes away whenever you get our age, but right now they are in their prime.
100%. All right, let's toss it down to the pitch now for game number 1 between these two teams. 5 minutes on the clock, and we are underway with this best-of-5 series. And we'll see if ID Faye can continue to lead this team, or if Virtual High School has something left inside to really push forward. Right now, Rocky River shows that they've got a strong start.
Yeah, Rocky River, not wasting any time in this series, and great pass by Perk. I'm going to give him credit on that, as putting it right to his teammate for an easy goal. But, yeah, not wasting any time right there, Bear.
Yeah, the quick conversions is the name of the game of Rocky River. That's always been, a factor for them in a positive light, that is. That they've always, seem to get off to quick starts and put them in a favorable position moving forward. And so 20 seconds in, they've got 2 goals, so continuing that trend for Virtual High School. Unfortunately, with the talent they have on the pitch currently, it could get out of control pretty quickly if they're not careful.
It's looking kind of that way already, but that's not here to say that things change when it comes to just making a little bit of a tweak in your gameplay. So just looking forward to see what Virtual High School does. But missed shot right there by Rocky River. Let's see if Virtual High School can get on offense here.
Perk had to backtrack from that one, but ID Faye still able to follow that up, and although Sacred almost got there, the leader of Virtual High School, by the way, trying to make a big play there, but Rocky River continues to just press forward. That's the first time ID Faye's on the board. Three goals.
Yeah, and that was just, just being at the right place at the right time, making that great shot in the left side. And we're here, still not even a minute played here on this game one, and already a 3-0 score as we see a possible opportunity here for Virtual High School. It's still up in the air, but it's going to get cleared by Rocky River.
Yeah, Sacred couldn't get there in time. Jet Shadow had an opportunity there, but couldn't quite get it. Lack of experience. Credit, Sneaky Shark there. She was on that, pushed it forward, and caused all sorts of chaos. You don't see ID Fate backtrack like that as often, as we have seen it so far because of that opening from her. So she's got herself at least something to be proud of, but Rocky River right back to it.
That was a beautiful shot right there by Perk, slamming it down. Watch this again. Slams it down right over Sneaky Shark and Sacred, and able to finish it off right there. But going back to Sneaky Shark, she's been a great actually defender, going through this season. But now actually seeing that she's kind of playing a little bit more aggressive here. I like to see that because, Sacred does need a lot of help when going up against these other top players.
Yeah, and that's been definitely a highlight to watch as the improvements continue here for this Virtual High School team. In the meantime, Rocky River doing a great job to handle business. Perk will put it across. ID Faye on the far side. Nobody to defend that one as they got caught up trying to defend. And, you credit their aggression, yes, but in that situation, you have to have everybody checking down on every side of the pitch.
I think it really comes down to, just awareness. Just field awareness. Where are your teammates here, on the pitch? And rather than just kind of just knowing where you are in the ball. And I feel like it's easier said than done because it's really easy just to get locked on ball cam and kind of not being aware. But we're about to see Virtual High School get their first goal, and that's Sneaky Shark, who we were just talking about her.
Yeah, she was, the one that was kind of forcing the issue here. Rocky River feels confident when you get a 5-0 lead. So how do you handle that? Well, you silence them pretty quickly by catching them off guard. They think they can just play wherever they want to on the field. Not necessarily.
Yeah, she answers right back, and now let's see if they can get that momentum kind of shifted as we see a little bit of light there for Virtual High School.
Shadow's going to be beat to that by Perk, though, and that's directly in. So just found that opening and was able to put it north to south, A to B, and that's all you have to do for Rocky River.
Yeah, great shot right there by Perk, right on the wall. I mean, and these guys are just been, like you said, the last 3 games playing phenomenal.
Yep.
And they just been, even though they haven't been getting the sweeps, they've been just handling business. Beating Myers Park was a great win. Butler,
Huge
and
win,
especially West Charlotte, as we see Perk put another one in.
Yeah, Brazil is in full effect here. We'll see if they kill time here, because at the 7-1 count with 3 minutes left, you hope they, eventually take some time off the clock.
Respect.
Yeah, exactly. We've already, are going to win this one. You never want to let off the gas too much, but in this certain instance, I think that might be the time.
Yeah, Coach hit me. He needs to let him calm down a little bit. Hey, slow down. We need to score some goals here in game 2, too.
Exactly. Hold it in your back pocket for a little bit. And it looks like they're still challenging, though. Perk took a shot that was just a little bit off the mark, but now we continue and see Sneaky Shark try and challenge this one. Good timed challenge there as well. As, despite the 7-1 scoreline, definitely a step up for Sneaky Shark here in the series. Did miss that opportunity, though, and a good flick there from Rocky River. Side of the net, ID Faye chips in a save there from Sacred, though. So, I mean, their head's always constantly in the game, and it's got to be something that you respect about CLT Virtual.
That was a great save by Sacred. I mean,
sure was.
I honestly thought that was just going to float right over, and he was in goal, able to get that quick boost up and get that ball out of there. But here we go. ID Faye's trying to do something crazy, and that was actually, I thought Perk was going to get the credit for that goal, but somehow ID Faye does come down with it.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to, quote unquote, steal it. But it went right back to the ID Faye. That's what happened. Oh, my goodness. So it wasn't even a steal effort. Perk was just trying to win a 50-50, strong arm it into the net, and ID Faye just, balls around off of his car.
Sometimes that ball just lands right back on your car in the right direction, and that's what happened on that goal.
It's almost like when it rains, it pours in the opposite fashion, right? When things are going well for you, you just happen to catch some luck there. Hey. One would have gone wide, but he gets credit for another goal.
And he'll take it.
Absolutely. Maybe another one? The chance for Perk, he does launch that one back in the net. So are they going to let it off a little bit? Hit Me says, nah. We're not going to.
Maybe when they get the 10. I'm not sure. But I want to see some more goals from Virtual High School. I want them to still have that fight in them because, that's the only way they get better is, even though these games can get out of hand, it's a best of 5. You can bounce back and easily, get right back into it. All it takes is a couple early goals. Getting Rocky River back on, right now they're playing phenomenal. So, a lot easier said than done. I know I said that twice, but that is just ID FaZe putting it in and letting them know 10-1. They're here.
I got to toss it back to a couple weeks ago. Maybe I think it was 3 weeks ago, counting the All-Star week, the off week last week. But we had Harding take a game off of another team, and to see that, because they've had a bit of a struggle all season long, but they dug deep, and a team that they had no business beating on paper, they were able to take that win in that best of 5 series, and that was a huge win for them because they played a whole lot better moving forward. I feel like for Virtual High School, that might be the new focus in this series.
I think so. I think so. Once you get that, win, and well, there you go, another goal there for Perk. But once you get that win, look at this. 11, 11, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. A ton of ones here on the board, as Bearlight pointed out for me. But once you get that win, especially on a team that you're not expecting to win, your confidence gets up, and that's whenever you start challenging a little bit but more, and you find yourself actually winning some challenges, and that turns into winning or putting some goals in, and that just turns into wins. So I want to see a Virtual High School do the same as Harding as well.
Yeah, and you start to see it here. They know that they're outmatched, but they're still they're going for it. You see Sacred there, maybe not a challenge that he lands very often, but he's taking that chance now because he knows that the only way to be successful against these top teams is to start taking those chances, because better teams currently in this league will have to challenge right there, and so they're doing the right things, and so you have to just focus on hitting your marks whenever you're trying and attempting those things. Eventually, it'll all come with time. It can be frustrating. You just got to stick with it.
Yeah, for sure. And seeing these scores definitely can be defeating. So that's what it comes down to: coaches and leadership. And hopefully, Sacred can maybe talk to his teammates. Hey, this is just one game. We're hanging in there. Let's just do what we've been practicing and put that in into the game. So we'll see what they do in Game 2, but right now, this Game 1 is just out of hand.
Goodness. Rocky River needs to – this is a lesson for them, too. It's 14-1. Yeah. Just kill out the time. Kill off the time right now. There's no reason to get a kickoff goal right now. If you're trying to set records, I guess that's fine, but there's not even records to go on.
I think that's exactly. I think that's kind of why there's not records. It's because of this kind of play. You definitely don't want to be running up the score. And this is honestly for any kind of sports, not just esports.
That's right.
It comes down to we always like to go back to baseball because that is my sport.
Sure.
So going back to baseball. When you're up by so much, you go base to base. Even if you hit a double, just base to base. That's kind of what happens. Taking that in consideration, hopefully, in the future we can get that through, their heads.
Quite frankly, because there's another one. That one's off the crossbar, though. This will be down to a Jet Shadow. Now it'll be Sacred, putting that back down to the ground. Perk is still going to keep it alive for whatever reason. They haven't heard us talk about it yet, so eventually it's hit the grounds. And, this one will continue to be in the air, because why not? We have all night, right? Rocky River walking away with game number 1, though, as they do take the win. I'm honestly being rough on Rocky River. Yeah. It's just etiquette, and eventually you'll learn it with time. And impressive work, because it's not like they get to win in dominant fashion very often. They got a very strong division that they constantly have to deal with, so they got to take a victory lap when they can, I guess.
I think that's what's been happening. They're really not used to that kind of fashion, so they're like, hey, let's just put it in.
Let's just do it right now. Let's take care of it.
Keep it putting it on, guys.
Well, that was a long game 1. Let's get right into the stim now with the first submission so we can keep things rolling. It is Rocky River Ravens. Hopefully, it's under the 8 minutes limit that we have put in place. Let's check out what they put together for Week 6.
Hi, I'm Omen with Rocky River, and here's our game, Scholarships and Scholarship System. Our game should be played by everyone, not only so you can see every school's logo, but so you can see what advantages you can get from obtaining scholarships. In our home screen, I've added mobile controls on this side. I've added the leaderboard. If you type in a username, type in a score, type submit, then tap update, you will see the current leaderboard. If you go back, it'll send you back to the home screen. First off, we have our level, main level. We have added left controls, right controls, and shooting for mobile. I have also added a health bar. Second level, Olympic. Left, right, and shoot. It also has a win-loss condition now with the health bar. And the next level button is now visible only after you defeat all the enemies. This is Kieran's level. Same thing, just with a health bar. This will be Charlotte Virtual's level. It still has some work to do, but this is the current.
So one of the biggest criticisms of that game last time, I believe, that we saw from their opponents was the fact that I think there was no damage to take place. Like, the enemies would go right through you. And so I don't know if we were able to capture if that was fixed or not, but you see them trying to prepare for the mobile world, so they were able to take a step in the process there and do good things. So we'll have to leave it to the judges, I suppose.
I mean, you love the classic Galaga, right? You know, so I like how they put that twist on, put the Raven on there. That's for, you know, so it was great. I like it.
Yep, absolutely. We'll have more STEM after game number 2, but let's head down to the pitch again and see if Rocky River can continue the dominance that we saw in game number 1. 5 minutes on the clock. We are underway, and it'll be Sacred to get the first touch off the kickoff. ID Faye to catch and try to play back towards the own end. We've seen him do this plenty of times. Although not quite at Skimmett's level, he's definitely got signs of it every time we see him touch the ball.
He definitely likes to show his tricks, which is great because, I mean, you know, you put that many hours in, you practice. Yeah, of course you want to show what you've been practicing. So I also like to see those flipper sets, especially when they go in.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if he can hit it here. Ready, Faye? Had to flip, cancel to get back down to that one.
I was waiting.
Yeah, and try to get it with Perk for sure. I think maybe laying off that, though. I think Perk might have gotten a shot off there.
Probably.
But, we'll see. As this push into Swag Panda. Right now, ID Faye will collect. Good pass and leave for Perk there. I like the little tap, right, to get it over to a teammate there. That was pretty crafty in general in Rocky River. Well, they haven't scored yet here in this first minute. Perhaps they're just taking it easy after our criticisms in game number 1.
They might have heard us say, okay, we'll lay off this game. But this is the time I'm like, okay, I don't mind the early goals because this is the time to do it. You definitely don't want to be playing around, you know, early. So hopefully that doesn't end up biting them.
This one will head right back down. Swag Panda over to ID Faye. That shot a little wide. And now Sacred right on it. Beats the defenders here. And Perk, great job. Quickness to turn on that and challenge. Otherwise, it would have been Virtual High School with the lead.
That was close, but now Perk on the other side, coast to coast as he works. Wow, great play there as he just took that one in his own hands and just did what Perk does.
That was pure speed. I mean, everybody seemed to be beat there for Rocky River. Their third man up was a little bit too far forward, and so they were able to beat that momentarily, and Perk made a quick turn, quick decision making that, hey, I have to go and challenge. This one was in the right position with speed there, and to transition it back down the field as well was absolutely unheard of. ID Faye will continue that trend as well as Rocky River has made it 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one thing you really want to highlight is really speed. If you can control how fast you are, like obviously there's some players that play a little bit too fast. And you can see that where a lot of ball misses. But if you can play as fast as you can and still have solid hits, I mean, you're going to win a lot of games and you're going to be making a lot of goals, as we see ID Faye with another one himself. But, yeah, definitely speed is huge here in Rocket League.
Yeah, ID Faye, again, just a couple of crafty touches. Perk was there just in case anyways, so.
Holding his hand, walking him in with him.
Allowing ID Faye to perhaps try some of those tricks that he consistently is able to show off for. Maybe one of a lot of the votes, too. There's a reason why he was a captain. ID Faye was the most popular name when it came to the All-Star Weekend.
Wow. And I recall, if I saw it, was we see Perk with a goal as well, too, for him as well. But ID Faye and was it Skimmit? So those
Up
two
there, yep.
players were up the captains. So
Certainly were.
you know, shout out to them for being captains of an all-star team.
Yeah, I mean, and I think they handled it really well. It was a great Friday afternoon, after all. So, I mean, we had a lot of fun with the number one, but they both showed a whole lot of talent as well. And they really kept up to that team that was stacked that everybody thought was just going to absolutely dominate from start to finish, with Barris and Rux on the same all-star team.
That's
what
ridiculous.
a shot from Perk here, though. You know it's 5-0, but he's showing off his skills, too, as he read that perfectly off a corner, and that angle was very difficult to get.
I think I saw some, like, Acco as well was
That's right.
on it. Yeah, I mean, that definitely saw that all-star team, and I was like, wow, that's a deadly team right there. So would like to see, you know, a ton of goals from that squad.
Yeah, it was the Bean Boys, as they've called themselves in you know, the Stay Plugged In realm. That one's gonna hit bar a couple of times. They'll
wow.
bail themselves out. I think Sneaky Shark bumped Sacred into a save there.
Really?
So she's getting creative and said, "Hey, get out there, and make the save."
I won't get the credit, but you can.
Exactly. That's a team player right there.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what I'm saying. Yeah, it doesn't have to be the name at home. Oh, man, Swag Panda had the opportunity to turn on that one as well. Would have made it a 6-0 match. It might still be, as Berg will try to challenge the box. Great job from Sacred. Phillies clean up now. ID Faye right back on it. And will try to dunk it through, but
Great
Sacred
save.
was able to keep it
Oh!
out again. It's Jet Shadow this time in the right place, as his positioning will credit in his favor. And Rocky River remains at this 5-0 count.
And those little gems you want to take, you know, out of each game. That's great. That's what you want to see from Virtual High School, especially going forward. But you want to take those little wins and, you know, move, you know, with those. Use those wins as momentum.
100%. This one will bounce high. Jansen turning. Swag Panda. Perk. Back in Virtual High School, unfortunately, bumping into one another. And that'll allow ID Faye to hop through 6-0.
Yeah, Rocky River just kind of taking charge this whole series, and I mean, that's kind of what we've been seeing the last 3 weeks for them.
Yeah, it has been. And the challenges keep getting harder until today.
Yep.
I mean, a little bit of a breather after a schedule of West Charlotte, Butler, and Myers Park.
Yeah,
that's good. And the fact that they beat Myers Park 3-1 was also crazy to me, because I thought Myers Park might have had him beat on paper, but they proved that they have the capability of beating a top 10 team.
and that just shows you. I mean, and that's kind of how I was saying, like in week 2 and week 3, no one really knew where they're comparing, and so until they play each other, and that's what happened with that Myers Park game. You know, Myers Park got beat by Rocky River, and now Rocky River is the team to beat.
It is. Yeah, and Myers Park right now is currently outside of the cusp of the playoffs, which is crazy. I mean, they're still a solid team, so you're right. It's like Rocky River basically took their place.
Yes.
Great analysis. This one will be the corner. This will be Sacred to push it forward. And won't be, hopefully, the 13 goals like we saw last time. Might have been 14. Forgot where we were.
Yeah, a little bit. I think
that,
I think they did lay off maybe in the first minute or so of this game, but they started working again midway through.
That's probably the way to approach it, right? Maybe step back for the first few minutes and then start, because I mean, after a certain amount of time, you can start to transition into the next game with a full head of steam if you need to. Right. So
you don't want to be laying
like
off at the very end and then kind of getting you know, cold for the next game. So very smart and strategic way to you know, handle this. 6-0 will fall possibly one time. Will it hit the ground? It does. Rocky River does take game 2.
Spoiler, it did eventually hit the ground. And yeah, they do take a 2-0 lead here in the series. And Rocky River, again, they put in the changes on the stem side as well. So we'll see. Again, Virtual High School matched up with them this time as well. So for Virtual High School, it's all about getting back out there, making those adjustments on the field, and also see what adjustments they made on the stem portion here too. So we'll pull that up momentarily as well. In fact, we have it right now. So let's check it out. Virtual High School, VHS as I called them. Let's check out what they put on for the sim side.
This is Charlie Charger, and welcome to Charger Chase. Charger Chase is a game designed and developed by the Team VHS Sim team. Charger Chase takes you through various levels to collect Charlie's Charger before school. This 2D platformer has developed a lot since the beginning. Once you collect his first charger, you will be sent outside. Yep, that's right, we developed an outside. Everyone say hi to Rufus, Charlie's new dog. Rufus will slow down when you do and speed up once you get on moving. Once you get closer to the end, Rufus will start to sprint to the charger to try and take it away from you, since he always wants you to stay home with him. We were aware that Charlie could walk off the map. We now have a death and win screen, and he can't just fall into the void of no return. Once you get to the charger outside, you will reach the win page, where you can choose to restart. If you fail on either level, you will be sent to our You Lost screen, where you can try again from the beginning. Once you reach the charger on the first level, you will be sent outside where Rufus awaits to finish the game. Seeing the growth of Charger Chase has been great. Thanks for always being along for the ride.
There you have it. Again, adjustments have been made. We head to the game number 3 now, as we, hope that there will be a surprise here. Quite frankly, I mean, I really want to see Virtual High School step up and surprise this Rocky River team.
Yeah, and if not win, at least put up some goals. That's kind of what I want to see. Just the improvement each and every game. We saw it, last series. We saw it last series. Providence was the team that was each and basically every game got better and better against South Mech. Even though they did get swept, it was closer and closer each time.
Yeah, you could tell their heart was in it for sure. For Providence, it was really the last 2 games that they gave them a challenge, which was kind of crazy to me. And that's kind of the catching us by surprise that I'm looking for. So perhaps not a series win, perhaps not even a game win, but we'll see if they can take it from there. ID Faye going to try to silence that, though, 2-0 now, as that'll be his first goal of this game. And, but not his first goal of the series. It's got to be like 6 or 7.
Yeah, he's up there. I mean, him and Perk both have just been slamming it all down. So, between those two, they probably had over 20 goals apiece.
Really stacking those stats, which I imagine they're after. Sacred, a good touch away. ID Faye was sitting there waiting and hoping that would fall back down so he could grab another one. Instead, he'll push in the corner here of Virtual High School. Right now, it's Sacred trying to lay it back down here. Instead, Swag Panda going to find it. A good pinch. Yeah, great passing from start to finish.
And great, hats off to Rocky River. Even though, they're doing their thing, that was still what you want to see, especially going up against another team possibly next week with a little bit more high-caliber play.
Keep that fresh, right? And find those places, right? We know that they are constantly working in free play and with their coach in order to find those passing zones. So it's great to get that practice in consistently. So you're absolutely right. And we'll continue to see them try to work it. Those double commits that you see right here from Rocky River obviously won't matter too much in this one, but those are things that the coach doesn't want to see very frequently.
Right. And that's where you think it's like, well, they're up 2-0. Do you think they're playing is hard, their game? Are they showing their hand right now? I don't know if they are.
Yeah, that's 100%. When we talk about the next step for these high schoolers moving forward in the world of esports for Rocket League, I say Rocket League specifically, but basically in any game that you want.
Absolutely.
I mean, with our friends that stay plugged in, they can get you a scholarship too. So, I mean, a lot of these players might have are creating their resume of sorts, right? So ID Faye saying, hey, I scored this many times. I've fought some of the best teams in this league, because they're all looking for opportunities to play maybe at the collegiate level, get part of that CRL level play. I mean, it's small percentage of players will reach that level, but everybody's after it.
And that's just like you said, it's just one step, and then the scholarship comes, right? And then going from there, it's just step by step, and you find yourself in a situation that you never thought you could be a part of, and it's all from just starting. So if you're at home and you're thinking about joining the league, hey, give your high school a call and try to get in, because this is definitely a great way to expose your esports.
Yeah, esports is developing like crazy at the collegiate level. I mean, you said you play baseball, right?
Yes.
And so obviously that was a possibility in your mind moving forward. It's like, if I played at a certain level, right, I have that opportunity, perhaps land scholarships or not, maybe perhaps walk on, when you get to school. And so all of this is available in esports now. Maybe not at every single school, but for a majority of schools, they've been adopting. It's pretty cool to see.
And then even on the other side, maybe the parent side, is like, well, what is this helping? Well, the communication's huge.
Oh, yeah.
Teamwork.
For sure.
This showing up on time, making sure you get your submissions in. All this kind of stuff is huge and will relate into, real life. So, yeah, I mean, there's just benefits all over with this program.
Exactly. Creating your own apps and then launching them on the App Store. Like, what do you mean? There's
Who would have thought that
applications.
was even a thing?
Right.
And now it's here. So very excited to watch it happen.
Yeah, what applications are there? Literal applications that these students have been creating. It's so fun to watch them create these things from scratch, and create their own video games too. I mean, that's a portion of the sector that kind of goes unnoticed, definitely unloved sometimes, is the programming of these games. I mean, somebody had to come up with not only the idea to have cars, run around a field and basically play soccer with rockets, but then you have to execute all the physics to the game, right? It's all the cars, all the different car styles, but also have them functionable to hit the ball in certain directions. When you think about it, that's a huge team of people with jobs, steady jobs in the industry, creating something.
And a lot
like
of people don't think about it that way. A lot of people, it's just cars running around on Rocket. You just put it in. No, there's so much things that go into it, especially and it's the same thing when it comes to like Valorant, like hitboxes, all that kind of stuff. Is on the back end where you don't really see when you're playing game, or when you're playing the game. But obviously, when you're making it yourself and you have a whole team behind you helping you, you will respect a lot of these games that are out and very popular, like Rocket League, like Valorant, like Super Smash Bros. It all just comes together.
Yeah, graphic design, right? The UI of all of this, besides the score bug, as you see the virtual high school in the Rocky River, which was created by graphic designers from the CMS Esports League, right? From us. Somebody had to create that. His name is Matt, by the way. He does a great job with all of our stuff. Matt, yeah, absolutely kills it all the time. But like even the UI, right? The not Swag Panda just scored, right? Scored. Somebody had to create that. Just all the beautiful background that you see on the pitch. I mean, there's just so many ways to get involved.
Explosion and animation.
And the audio. Yeah, right. The car's audio, too. Somebody programmed that, took samples, and then was able to incorporate that into the game and make it happen at the appropriate times. I mean, we could go on for days.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot to it, but it's really cool seeing, especially these kids do it themselves and just in weeks of time. I mean, it's really crazy how fast, they're making video games, how fast they're making an app and putting it to where you can actually buy it on the store. So, great hats off to, this program is just awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. Weeks and weeks, which is what this game feels like. At this 12-0 count, Rocky River, please.
We still have 2 minutes left?
Yes, hit me.
Oh,
hit
my
them
goodness.
with the news not to do this in the future, please. It's going to be 13-0. My goodness. I mean, come on.
ID Faye with another one.
Yeah, and this, part of it too is you want to be featured in the top 10 plays, but you're not going to get a good, truly passionate call.
Oh, you're
from
gonna
us.
Another one?
Yeah, there he goes again, right? Come on. If you want to truly add to your highlights, you got to keep it close.
Make it
right?
close
Make it like
and hit a game winner.
Exactly. Overtime winner. If you want that voice, you're not going to get it in a 13. Sorry.
We're killing your highlight chances, guys. You gotta stop. You gotta slow down.
Oh man, he's trying for him too.
Yeah,
You constantly see it as that musty from a ceiling shot did not fall. And in a minute 30, all the misery will go away.
Yeah, that's exactly what Virtual High School's saying right now. Let's just finish this one out.
Let's tap it down. They almost got a goal there, and they continuously. I mean, they are still challenging, right? They're still trying to find a way to figure out Rocky River, and that's what I respect about this team. Because anybody, and you think about the world of esports too, it just, for some reason, it's been trending where a lot of players, and maybe it's because it's a younger demographic, but they tend to quit earlier. But in the CMS Esports League, they do a very good job of making sure and instilling the the priorities of students. to say it's a no-quit attitude
Yeah.
that we want to see from you, and that's what we constantly get week after week as well.
Absolutely, and yeah, I mean, I've been in so many of the just competitive ranked games in Rocket League, and if you're down 5-0, 6-0, how fast your teammates would just go forfeit.
Yeah.
Try
Even
to
after
hurry.
one goal in some
Right.
cases, there are kids out there, man.
Absolutely. Shout out to my brother-in-law. He's one of them where he's like, oh man, I did that way too quick because we'd only be down 3-0. I'm like, we can come back. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So definitely love the no quit mentality that we try to preach when it comes to these games. But yeah, right now they're definitely testing their limits right now.
100%. I mean, it is what it is. But they still got one back here. See, like I said, they're down 14-0. What do? We score a goal.
That's
Let's
absolutely
go.
The shutout
Love
is
that.
over. We love to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I'll leave it as a lesson for both of these teams. Right? Keep going at it if you're down. If you're up, maybe stop going at it as hard. As we're down to 23 seconds left. Finally, if they do keep this ball in the air after this game, I might lose it. But you know what? We'll move on and keep going. Swing Panda now will try to chip this down. Frick. And that's a good challenge. Jet Shadow has a chance to get around this one. And we'll try to do so a little bit out of boost. So chips it across. Sacred tries. Couldn't get it. Oh, we wanted it so bad. But he wasn't able to quite convert on that one. This will stay in the air, of course, but hits the ground. Thank goodness. Rocky River finishing this one off. 3-0 the count.
Absolutely.
And nothing else to say.
Nothing else to say. That was it, man. Rocky River handled business again, 4th week in a row. So
that's right.
Hats off to them for getting that win.
Yeah, of course. You know I'm just giving you a hard time as well. So, by the way, just next time, be a little bit
slow down.
Yeah, exactly. Let's calm down a little bit. But I mean, that means 4 in a row. You're right. And so they continuously move into week number 7 saying, hey, we've got a full head of steam.
Yeah.
Quite literally. And whoever is going up against us, we are not going to quit either when we're up. So, I mean, that just shows you the prowess of this team. Well, let's go ahead and get into the judging of the 2 submissions that we saw in Virtual High School. Put together something pretty cool. But also Rocky River started us off pretty strong. Let's head to the judges now for their take.
Rocky River versus Virtual. Ladies and gentlemen, Malcolm, let's start with Rocky River. Scholars in the scholarship systems. So we learned a lot about this game in UAT Week 5 action, and now I was paying attention to it closer. I like the leaderboard ad, even though I'm not sure. You got to tighten all this stuff up, and again, we're going to see in Week 7 exactly how it all works. I'm unsure if you're actually getting killed when you take bullets in this. If you watch this closely here in a second, you'll see the bullets hit it. Now, it supposedly said there was some health bar that was coming down, but I couldn't. It was pointing at a square that I didn't understand what was happening. So I think my point here is and did you enter your own score or you see?
The leaderboard's almost working.
You can just manually enter whatever score you want?
That's exactly right.
I see.
That's why I have the high score right now.
All right. Oh, I see. And so I think the whole focus here. Watch, boom, boom. You're taking hits. Is that bar going down?
Christian,
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Anyway, doesn't matter. It did maybe once. The point is this: focus on making the basics playable immediately, because we are going to start playing this for Week 7, and it's got to be workable.
Yep. Absolutely. I think they're really close to implementing some of these features that's going to make it, give it that hook, but not quite.
Let's go over to Virtual. Charlie Charger Chase. I think this one just is beautiful. It's been beautiful from the beginning. Developing the outside, cool. The dog Rufus, game changer, absolute game changer. And if you're looking for your hook, this is a great example. Hooks don't have to be, wild every single time. A hook is, you got Rufus the dog, boom. And it isn't just that it's there. Now that makes it the competition where you've got to do things before the dog gets ahead of you or something like that. I think that, you need to refine it maybe a little bit and how it works. Make sure that people are going to keep playing, how the leaderboard maybe could work or something like that. But it's a great approach.
Yeah, this game is absolutely beautiful. And is that dog from Duck Hunt on Nintendo?
Is that the Duck Hunt dog? It does look like the Duck Hunt dog.
System?
I don't
Google
disagree.
it, kids. NES. the original Nintendo?
I think it's possible.
It looks kind of like it. Well, we don't know for sure. But yeah, I mean, they added, took a lot of feedback. They added an outside, another level, the dog, and a win-loss condition. That's pretty much all you could ask for within over spring break, which apparently was really hard for people to do.
Everybody hard. So this is a tough one to score. What do you think?
I think I'm going to go 1-1.
Are you really?
Oh, really?
Do you think it would be inappropriate for me to give all my 2 to virtual? I that's kind of where I'm leaning. Again, I think I have to do that. I think I've got to go 2 points for virtual because we learned so much about Rocky River last week in the game, like not fully functioning, that Rocky River can either come out and blow us out of the water next week in week 7 when we play it and we find out they fixed all those things, or we find out it was all smoke and mirrors. So I want them to be on their heels a little bit, but understanding that they can come up and go big. And that's going to leave us there with 1 point Rocky River, 3 points virtual.
It's tough for Rocky River.
Ouch.
So we saw and noticed the Ocean City on Tark's shirt, and it's been treating him pretty nicely. You see that tan going on.
Yeah, I mean,
man,
man, I need to follow his regiment of tanning because, yeah.
We're pretty pale.
I stay inside.
It is what it is. We head into the next matchup already. It's going to be Myers Park facing off with JT Williams at 5-0. Myers Park, we were just talking about them.
Yeah.
They've fallen outside the top 12. They're one of those teams that we expect to make a leap forward in order to perhaps make the playoffs, but perhaps it doesn't start this week. They got a challenge
It's
here.
going to be a tough one. I mean, JT Williams, undefeated. They just came off of, Myers Park just came off a loss with Rocky River, and before that, AK. So they're on a 2-game losing streak, hoping to bounce back, but JT Williams, they're not going to give it to him. So, Snore, Grassy,
yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
Yeah, for Myers Park, their strength of schedule is something that we talk about all the time in traditional sports. And for Myers Park, it is a difficult road. I mean, they've gotten South Mech 0-3 with Skimmett C. Hercules when he was playing as well. They've had AK, like we mentioned, as well. We're actually we should record a video about Erdry Kell and just what makes him an effective team. We'll get on that. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
And then Rocky River as well, we just saw what they were capable of. So Myers Park hasn't had it easy. And JT Williams comes in again and should be the team to take it to them. Now, Nutella and Grassy we've seen on the pitch pretty regularly. Snore has been a question mark. We're not sure if he's going to continue as the third for this roster. We'll see if he is on the pitch here tonight. It looked like he was on that list, but we'll see if he gets the call here.
You never know, really, but Nutella's always been that guy.
Oh, yeah, he's him.
He's him, absolutely. And it's just one of those things. I mean, they're 5-0, but they have also had a little bit of a tough schedule. But how good they are, it didn't really show too hard, obviously, on record. But, Providence, Palisades, Huff, and then South Mech Olympic. Those last 2 games, week 4 and 5, that's pretty tough.
It really is. So, I mean, the challenges consist for them, too. They just have been a strong team. Providence 3-0, you're right. I mean, to kick off the season. That's one way to do it. Palisades 2 and Huff is up there, right? So 3-0. Yeah. That's like you said, Olympic a challenging team too. So you don't want to say, hey, it's just Myers Park,
right.
So we don't have to worry as well. We saw Crow on the highlights, the top 10 last week for week 5. So what does that mean? That means you always gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yeah, I had to. JT Williams starts.
Oh, somehow Krunoson saved that.
Got to it. And now it'll be 0. They try and challenge here. Snore is on the pitch for JT Williams. This is a good touch. Back down to 0 as he will tap it off the wall to get to ICU, but that one misses. Luckily 0 there to back him up, but it's over the Crow, and that's a great passing play.
Right now, Myers Park is not looking bad as we see a goal from ICU. If they can keep this up, Bear, oh my goodness, watch this again.
There's methodical passing. Crow just uses the sidewall to propel out and will use the back wall in order to get it away from the wall and away from the JT Williams defender. So Myers Park comes out super strong. Just over 40 seconds played, they have the 1-0 lead. So now JT Williams, known to be that team that answers back super quickly. So that might give us an idea as far as which JT Williams team we see tonight. 9 times out of 10, it is one that is playing as the best team in the league.
Absolutely. ICU looks like he's just playing faster, though. Like, It really looked out of the gate. I know the first. I know it's only minute 1 of this best of 5, but ICU's all over the place.
Yeah, trying to create a little bit of chaos on JT Williams. They know that that's the way they have to approach this matchup, which clearly favors JT Williams on paper. So you just have to switch things up as much as you can. I mean, it hasn't always been the best for ICU, but he is constantly challenging, which is what you have to do against these best teams.
Absolutely, and Grassi has a shot on, but guess who it is there? ICU's playing offense, defense. He's all over the place, and there's Zero able to take that goal away from JT Williams. But coming right back is Grassi, and another save by Krunison.
Oh, and Nutella took a shot. Crow was reacting to it, but a little bit too slow, and that's where this JT Williams one-two punch will be very difficult to defend.
Yeah, I mean, you can save, 2 or 3 in a row, but, it's going to be nonstop with JT Williams shooting the ball on net, and that's what we saw right there. We got ourselves a tie ball game in game 1.
Yeah, and it's been like almost 2 minutes right now, so JT Williams, a little bit of a struggle to get past his Myers Park defense. Credit them for it difficult. As ICU, another challenge. Nutella's going to have to let this one hit. Got to pass with the Grassi. The shot taken a little bit off the mark. Crow back down, holds ICU. Now we'll leave it to Crow. Good fake down low, and Nutella's forced to play it right into the hands of Zero, and he'll chop at it to get it to center field. Grassi on it as well. He'll try back wall. And left it for Nutella, who buries it. So, I mean, it was so tempting in that moment to get an extra touch there from Grassi, but he let it be, and it was the right move.
Absolutely. That was just a, textbook play going from walls right to the goal. And, hey, 2-1. Now JT Williams up in this one.
That's right. We currently have a frozen screen, so we'll get you the details on what's going on there. But to kind of break it down, Myers Park, the hot start. JT Williams, you said, answered back pretty quickly. It took him a little bit of extra time. Now, is that a red flag for you?
I don't know. I think JT's feeling it now. I mean, like you said, they are really fast when it comes to when they're getting scored on, and they just scored 2 back-to-back. So I think they're ready. I think they're getting tuned up right now.
Took them a moment. But
it did take them a second.
Sometimes when you get warmed up, it takes some time.
But, I mean, how does this affect, Myers Park on how well they came out of the gate? So I feel like once they make that first shot, they know they can hang. So this could very, very be a close series that I don't think we really saw.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And, I mean, a lot of it is because Nutella is, seen as that individual who will constantly, just carry the team on his back. But I don't think that's ever been the case, right? And so when you get these constant challenges in a way, he's not really the one that's going to be, putting everybody in his backpack to carry them, right? Everybody needs to consistently contribute, and right now everybody is. Nutella will get credit for this goal, and we'll make it 3-1.
Yeah, absolutely. And now you definitely called it whenever you said they answer back quickly, because they did 3 in a row now, for JT Williams.
A bit of tech issues here as we continue to try to work on those for you. But yeah, I think the trend is correct. I think you've called it. It does seem like JT Williams has gotten back to it. In fact, we got the field right back on for you. It's 0. Gonna use that corner over to Crow, try to get that extra touch, maybe to push it past the defender. Actually went a little bit more horizontal than he prefers. And out the center it goes to Grassi. The ceiling he goes. He'll try to challenge it down. Definitely gets below it, but the chop at it will just fall to where Crow is waiting in the corner. It'll be an extra few touches here for JT Williams that maybe weren't the right ones, and so that'll allow Myers Park to at least breathe after the quick 3 goals from JT Williams.
Yeah, Snore though trying to put it right back on, put the put the pressure still on Myers Park, but Myers Park doing a really good job on these contests and now putting it right back onto JT's side. But right back and forth, this is a tennis match.
And Zero just trying to cut past anybody he can as far as opponents go. When you beat one member of JT Williams, there's always somebody in support. Right now where Grassi has the time to jump, challenge Zero. We'll fall back down to ICU though. He chips it high. He's going to chase it, but Nutella was already up. And that intellect is always on point from Nutella.
It almost came down with a shot too on that, pinched it right on the ground. So that was an unbelievable try. But I mean, that's just Nutella. That, just like how we talk up Skim It, Nutella is, he's that guy.
Right now, we'll try to get a 1v1 to Snore, who's a bit backwards, but we'll get the touch across. Grassi couldn't touch it, though, so now it's left with Place where Zero can challenge it, but they're running out of time. Myers Park got off to a quick start, got off to a lead. In fact, they were up 1-0 if you're just joining us, but JT Williams has since turned it on, and they will take the Game 1 win here. It tried for Myers Park to silence me, but it will hit the ground here, and JT Williams not as dominating as we thought it might be, but at the same time, they were able to get to it, score 3 in a row, and walk away with game 1.
Absolutely. I mean, that's JT Williams. That's the power of that school and how well, they just don't give up. After that one goal, they're like, let's get this going. But Myers Park to start off that hot, I mean, I think they could be in this game. Like you said, I thought it was going to be a little bit, larger of a score margin, but they're hanging in there.
Perhaps Myers Park woke up with that loss to Rocky River, because remember, they on paper technically should have been the better team. I don't know how accurate ranks are from however long ago when they submitted this, but perhaps it woke them up and said, we need to get to work. And I thought they did really well in the first 2 minutes until JT Williams said, we're here too to play. So we'll see.
Yeah, you got to have that longevity, throughout the whole series rather than right out of the gate.
Well, we'll continue. Let's head into, we'll have to find out after the STEM submission here from Geringer. As they put together their app that they've been working on too. They did very well with their game, so no surprise that their app has been pretty cool in the financial world. We'll see if that continues into week number 6.
Hey, this is Geringer STEM Team. This is our app, Currency G, a personal financing app that helps you in managing money. Keep it in mind what Palisade said about our app last week. We kept a few changes in mind. First is a login and sign up screen, where current users can log in and access their finances, and new users can create an account. We were able to get ChatGPT implemented as a personal finance assistant and has a way to add money to your wallet. ChatGPT is currently only able to perform transactions and give financial advice. Transactions are how users move money around, and after adding money, the user can do one of 2 transaction types. Budgets take money from your wallet and will lock that money into a budget until it's either met or deleted. Goals are the second type of transactions, which allows users to take money from their wallet and put it into the goal. Money can be retrieved from the goal by either completing it or abandoning it. A in the works feature is the ability to automatically claim all the money back when the goal is reached or abandoned. Some quality of life features include the tag system, which allows users to tag budgets and goals, which allows for easy organization as well as filtering for specific tags. As well, we have themes. There are only 2 themes, but there are more planned. There are future ChatGPT updates planned, which will include the ability to create budgets and goals for the user.
The most important part is the fact that you can theme it the way you want.
Yeah, well, we were just talking about that in one of the past submissions, just about the dark mode. But, hey, they had purple and pink as well.
4 different ones.
There's 4 different ones. They're stepping up their game when it comes to, what type of theme you want on your app.
Ask me which one I would choose.
Which one you want?
I got purple because we're on the Violet channel.
That is.
Violet Stream, yeah.
I like where you tied that one in.
Yes,
I'm still going dark.
Also,
my eyes.
Totally fair. Absolutely, I don't disagree with that. Also, because Archery Kell is purple and nobody's beat them so far, JT Williams, that's my call to you.
Yep.
Show us what you're made of right now. Myers Park will look to do the same against this JT Williams team, who is undefeated still at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that Audrey Kell and JT Williams, the most probably, hyped up game as well should be, because especially if that becomes one of the, last weeks. Who is going to stay undefeated, possibly. Myers Park can still in that, though, if, they win this.
Right now it's back down. Zero has a chance to push forward. Unfortunately, forgot the ball. So Grassy was able to jump on it, too. We'll play it back where Crow has to try and collect it. Instead, it'll be Grassy. Missed the read, but Snore's there in support as he gets himself a pass to the middle. Also got himself a prom date a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you were tuned in for that one, for the promposal.
There.
Oh, man. It was a great time. Me and Monkey Man holding it down was able to see somebody from JT Williams propose to Snore.
Oh, and, wow.
It took him a solid 15, 20 minutes to figure out his account information. Still didn't. And then typed it out on his coaches.
Got him.
Instead. So, I mean, great moments happen here on the CMS Esports
There
League.
you go. Proposals and everything.
Now JT Williams will be Snore. Off that corner again. He seems to like that portion of the wall to try and chip it across for a teammate, and it's a He'll find somebody there right now. They just haven't been available for it. As Grassy now will challenge Zero. With it, ICU had to wait back. Nutella the shot in, and that hesitation causing JT Williams up with the lead.
That hesitation and even just kind of going for it the last second right there on that. Even if he was in goal, I think he would have had that save. But you know, hats off to JT for timing that right.
That's right. The more patient you play, the more difficult it'll be whenever you decide to challenge. So I'd like to see quicker challenges. I like to see more decisiveness from this Myers Park defense. Otherwise, they've been keeping it close, but Nutella snuck that one. Put that on a line right there into the net.
That was a perfect word for it. Snuck that in. Look how crazy. Look at this angle, right? Crow thought he was there. I thought he was there. I'm sure you thought he was there.
Yeah.
And somehow slid that right by his car and gives JT a 2-0 lead here in Game 2.
Well,
Wow.
I thought he was there because he was there, but it was that much. Literally the size of the ball opening.
Perfect.
For it to sneak in there. And Nutella, I don't even think he saw it either. He just tried to get the most direct line in, and credit him. That was the right place to go with it. Now he's giving JT Williams this 2-0 lead, as they've already been up 1-0 in the series. Now Nutella, another shot. Crow, great defense. Pushing back on the field and
Crow
chase.
said, "Not again. I'm not letting this one slip by." As he was able to get that save. But now, I mean, I'm still impressed right now by Myers Park. JT's only put up 2 goals in 3 minutes, and you know that is not like them. Usually, they are putting up numbers, and for Myers Park to be hanging in with them and scoring as well. And there's a shot, and just off the side, but still putting those type of shots on a team like JT is just, you know, phenomenal.
Yeah, you see Zero stick on a play, right, and continue to run when it seems like perhaps that anybody else would have fallen back, and that was the right decision to stay up on that play. And so constantly Myers Park just consistently holds with it, and are making the right passing plays, too, to try to get around it. Unfortunately, Nutella read that last one, and his defense has always been stacked. So that's why they've had the issues with the offense like they have.
Yeah, those stacked. You see in the double commits right there in the corner, and you know, it's a lot. It's very hard to see that in game until you look back and see what we're seeing. So, you know, going back, that's why I always like to preach, hey, go back and watch your games and see what you could be improving on. You can see the whole field when you're watching these, you know, replays.
You absolutely can. We'll see if ICU can get back to it. He's looked a little more shy than I like. Remember when he was basically all across the field in game number 1?
Game 1.
I feel like they kept it. I mean, it's so close here, I know that, but it felt like they had more of a chance, Myers Park did in game number 1, than they do here, even though they might be closer on the scoreboard.
Yeah. A lot more opportunities, it looked like, for Myers Park in game 1. 100%. JT, I feel like, has had you know, just the possession just about the whole time, but I will say Myers Park is doing a good job, but not really just letting them score too much. But still, they got to score themselves.
Got to find some offense there. Tap down here. A chance for Crow to try to get around. Zero does instead. Oh, he surprised me with a little bit of speed there. I thought he ran out of boost. That was not the case. So 22 seconds left. Plenty of time. Down by 1.
Big goal right there as Nutella got turned around. And that, if you're going to score and you do it on Nutella, that's a accomplishment for Myers Park and Zero himself.
Certainly is. They got to move fast here, though. Off the kickoff, Crow got a little bit too far in front of it. So that'll allow Nutella to challenge here, make it difficult for Crow, and also hit it back to Grassy, but Zero with the save here. Nutella tries to play it back out, but ICU with that good presence to keep it alive there, but behind the last defender. Down to 5 seconds left. ICU will go up for it. Plenty of room, but tapped down by Grassy. Great play to stick with it from him. And JT Williams, not looking as easy as we thought, but still getting away with the win.
I think what I thought was going to happen was JT was going to get better in each and every game. I think it's going opposite. I think JT's kind of allowing Myers Park to hang around, and Myers Park is they're here. They're knocking on the door. I know they're down 2-0 in this series, but only a 1-2 game this past one? I don't know.
Listen, I believe they're going to keep it close for sure. The reason they won't close out in this series, at least, is they only have 2 goals. And offense is an issue here because of JT Williams' defense. I think Myers Park is creating some pretty dang good chances.
Yeah.
But you have to create a ton of them against JT Williams the way that Audrey Kell does.
Yeah. Shot
it's-
after shot.
Exactly. It has to constantly come up in rotation as a third man and be ready for it, but also as a first man to get back to where third man was rotating from. Otherwise, they beat you in rotation as well.
Absolutely. If Myers Park can do what they did at the end, where they were scoring, that one goal that they had, if they can just put that mindset into the whole game, they can hang in. But we'll see if JT Williams lets them do that or if they want to get the broom out.
Well, before we got to get back into the STEM portion, so hold that thought. We got JT Williams and their incredible STEM team right back at work here for Week 6.
Yellow YTAG Nation. This week, we made some big strides in our anti-fraud app, Fraud Friend.
Fraud Friend is an anti-fraud and pro-user knowledge app made as a reference for anyone that thinks they might be being taken advantage of in any scenario.
The first time that you use Fraud Friend, you use the sign-up page to make an account.
We use Firebase authentication to verify user emails and passwords, because what's a security app without some security of its own?
After signing up or logging in, the user will be directed to the homepage of our app, which houses the main features and tabs for navigation.
If the user is in a situation they think might be a scam, they can consult the 6 buttons on the homepage or use the other input field if it doesn't match the preset buttons. We integrated the ChatGPT API for users with unique scenarios. The user types in what's happening, our code pings the API, and the bot returns a helpful response.
Moving on, the user might want to check out ScamSpot, where we advertise anti-fraud companies in exchange for cold hard cash.
Now maybe the user wants to check out FraudFeed, our news system. We have utilized another web API, Paragon, to ping the internet for news articles matching our preset parameters, and the keywords the user searched for when prompted. We have also added notifications to our app. We integrated OneSignal, a notifications platform, and can now send notifications to the users from this page. We'll notify them if things like ScamSpot or our Terms of Service update.
The final feature for today is our light and dark mode, with more settings being planned for the future. That sure was a lot. Thank you for tuning in. JT Williams signing out.
So sending notifications out to your phone whenever it says, hey, maybe you shouldn't visit this website,
Right.
or maybe you shouldn't answer that text, that might be a scam. I mean, if they can pull that off, that'd be pretty sick.
I mean, yeah. I mean, think about how many people would benefit and save. I mean, just from
My
scams.
parents.
I think anyone older than us, honestly.
Yeah, honestly. You're right.
or younger than a certain age, right?
Yep.
But, I feel like now that's kind of getting, I guess, more alert now about the phishing scams and all that. But it'll be great to have that app to just plug in and see if it is one, right?
So you don't have to worry about thinking
Right.
about it. It would let you know. I mean, I guess you couldn't rely on it completely. I don't know. I would have to look at the details, let the judges do that kind of work.
We'll see how accurate their app becomes in the future.
But I mean, that's what makes it
But
good submission.
I love the whole the concept behind it.
I'm with you. And the fact that we're talking about this long in a series that's been relatively close is definitely telltale signs. Pretty good. And Crow able to get Myers Park up early. So, I mean, we've seen it once before, and they surrendered the lead, but that's a good way to start.
That's how you want to start Game 3, especially when you haven't been putting that many shots down on JT, but you do it early in the first minute. Hey, we're knocking on the door. We're going to try to make this series a close one.
Interesting, for sure. Crow back on it here. He'll jump off the sidewall. ICU was right behind him, so don't need two players right back-to-back in that instance. So that'll allow GT Williams a chance to push into the zone, into the corner where Myers Park seems to be held up by it.
Whoa.
Crow is backwards too, so ICU will jump on it. No boost in the tank as he challenges, but Crow was able to get that 100 boost, so at least it's in the hand of Myers Park. So they can try some defense, but try is not enough. When Grassy's there, he'll tie it at 1.
Yeah, and that's what kind of I figured when I saw Crow go up for that ball, because Nutella was already up, and all he had to do was kind of cross goal, and Grassy was there. So clean textbook play right there by Grassy and Nutella. Once again, the duo, they're phenomenal.
No doubt.
But we might have a quick one here. Ooh, 0, great defense, but Nutella shot on. Yes, it is. And now JT takes it that fast, Bear. That fast. They just switch it. It's like a light switch.
It's a little bit different than JT Williams of the past, where we're going to score off the kickoff to even things up.
Yeah.
But what it is 2 back-to-back after being scored on once to regain the lead in an instant. So
devastating.
I mean, just putting together streaks for JT Williams. And maybe this certain style of play wouldn't work against an Ardrey Kell, but it's certainly working here and getting their wins where they need them.
In Myers Park, you know, anytime they've been getting a glimpse of hope or the light at the end of the tunnel, I mean, I feel like a JT shuts that door real quick right when Myers Park, you know, has that lead. You know, they haven't had the lead that long, but they've had it in 2 games. So, you know, of the 3, they've been in the lead twice. So, but JT didn't let that last either game.
Yeah, it went away really quickly. Once at least they got their first goal, then it started kind of avalanching since then. In fact, another touch. Grassy just going to carry it on the top of his car. The car control is unreal. So nice. Grassy going to take that one for sure. And at JT Williams, that last touch over Crow. And then he just basically walked that one in.
Oh, yeah. That was just walking his dog straight to the park, and that's what he did. Just walking it right into the goal. Now JT up 3-1, and now you're a little nervous if you're Myers Park because you haven't really been putting up too many goals, and JT already has 3 with 3 minutes remaining. So very devastating, but still not over. Remember, we've been preaching the, you know, never fight, never quit type of mentality, and we've been seeing that a lot from, you know, all these schools. So hopefully Myers Park can follow that lead.
ICU will definitely challenge them here as Grassy was forced up there. Dunk! Oh, it almost went in. That one's going to hang there. Nutella almost got red and almost got dunked on the other ends, and that would have really gotten Myers Park up and ready, but instead it goes back the other way.
Yeah, that would have been big. I mean, ICU went up. He knew Nutella was going to be there for the challenge. So, but just the way that ball shot right back down, it was pretty nerve-wracking, I'm sure, if it was JT. But look at this play is there. If they can push this one in. No. Nutella's going to be able to make this clear and try to go coast to coast with it.
Yeah, and try to carry it in just like Grassy was able to before, but instead ICU was there for it. I mean, everything was right except no goal on the board for Myers Park. And Nutella right back at him. In that 1v1 situation, it was handled well by Crow. So we'll head to the back wall where ICU tries to challenge now back across. And Nutella again challenged nicely by Crow. So Myers Park continues to do everything right on the defensive side. Even so on the offensive side, just can't quite find the right side of the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And so I kind of chalk this one up as like a Providence effort, right? The results aren't here, and it's a moral victory, yes, but still doesn't feel as good as you thought it might.
No, and I was just picking the score for ICU. We might have a shot here. No, we do not. 0. Just got that yoinked from him. But Grassy now on the attack. Is he going to be able to do anything? He's been just ball handling the whole time. But, yeah, just killing some time. Minute left. And JT, possible opportunity for Myers Park, but JT doing a really good job at just kind of shutting everything that, you know, Myers Park's been throwing at him.
Yeah, it consistently just seems like an answer for everything, right? Creative ways to solve their problems, because I'm going to be frank, JT Williams had a few problems trying to get around Myers Park, who, as a 5-0 team, against a 2-3 team, even if the challenge has been there for Myers Park, you still expect that it should be a pretty easy win, and it was not by any means.
No.
Credit where credit's due for Myers Park, but for JT Williams, it kind of leaves a question mark, right? If you play this way against Ardrey Kell, there is no way you win that series.
No, yeah, maybe they were just having an off day, but you know, the thing is they're sneaking out the win, so no matter what, on paper, you know, they got it. So it's just one of those things where, yeah, come back and, hey, guys, we didn't really play our best game, even though we did get the win. Let's next week not show that same performance. But right now they're showing that, hey, we can put up some more goals right here and try to end on a good note.
For sure, yeah. Try to show that you can be dominant in a series like this. It's important because this will likely be one of your first matchups, right? Myers Park could easily, you know, with the talent that they have, be, you know, maybe 12th seed versus JT Williams 1, right?
Yeah,
or 11
12
to their
or 11,
2.
either, yeah.
Right? They could, if they sneak in, this could very well be their matchup. And the last thing they want is to be on land. When you add that extra factor of the nerves that could be coming at you, that's not one that you want to take into account. You just want to go ahead and dominate. And we didn't see a whole lot of that, but they still see a victory there in the series.
Absolutely, and just hats off to, like you said, both teams. Myers Park for you know, keeping it close for the most part, but you know, JT for staying undefeated.
Yeah, continues that streak, and are they going to be number 1 or number 2? Now, if they play that way against Ardrey-Kell, I mentioned that they're not going to win the series.
I don't think so.
Right, but at the same time, they approach every game differently. That's the thing about JT Williams, is they're so creative in that way that they're able to really adjust no matter what to any situation given to them.
But that being said, it's any given Wednesday. Like any given Wednesday, you come out and you could be playing at your peak performance. So JT Williams comes out hot against Ardrey-Kell, and Ardrey-Kell might be having a bad day. You know, anything can happen. So that's why we love the Wednesday Night Lights. You know, the ball, is balls in everybody's court. We don't know who's going to win, though.
Yeah, for Ardrey-Kell, you can't bat an eye. You have to, keep getting up to bat and just keep rolling with it. Knock it out of the park.
Absolutely.
Man, oh man. So we move on to the STEM side. Of course, we got to get the judgment between those two teams as well. Let's check out what the judges have to say. Are they going to favor JT Williams like usual? We'll have to find out here. Check out the STEM desk.
It's week 6 varsity STEM showdowns. Malcolm, what's week 6 judging all about?
Well, it's all about the teams refining their video pitch, telling people what their app is all about really quickly. Implementing advanced features like AI integration, ChatGPT, and, getting people to, come back for some reason, whether it's a leaderboard or something else.
Now, the most important part when we read the scores in a second is that week 7 starts, and week 7 is totally different. It's about launching your game to the public, getting as many people to play and download it. And next week, 1 week from tonight on Wednesday Night Lights, we'll be downloading and playing your game or using your app, and that's how we'll judge you. So you've got to get to work. Let's get into the action. Garinger versus JT Williams. Malcolm, let's start with Garinger. Currency G.
Hey.
This is really evolving into an amazing app over the last 6 weeks. They fixed that login, the Chat GPT integration, my friend, that took this app to the next level. Retrieving the money from the wallet and into the goal is a really cool feature. I think that is the first time I've seen you actually listening to that feedback of how's somebody going to want to do this? So you've chipped away at one issue, which is once you upload the amount, you can pull it back and forth. You need to do more of that because, again, I think it all comes down to how are you going to get over the manual stuff that people have to do. I really think you're at a point as we enter week 7 now where you need to be talking to some banks to see if you might be able to strike some kind of partnership where you could actually monetize this in some way. I am here and happy to make some intros for you if you need that, as any varsity STEM team, if you have that idea and need that help, or just go to meetings with you to get that done. What did you think?
I mean, the app looks amazing. The Chat GPT integration actually worked better than I was expecting. It's not just, connected directly. They have some hidden kind of prompts that help steer the conversation in the right direction. I think I'd like to see that, just like get parsed out into a budget automatically if you put your inputs. But, that'll be next level.
Yep. JT Williams, broad friend. This was a pivot in the middle of the season that we love to see. I wasn't sure, so they also did a Chat GPT integration to their API. I think that's great. The notifications, the feed, the light dark mode, I still liked all that. Still really feel like it's missing a hook. Like what is going to make someone download it for the first time if they don't know you? And more importantly, what's going to make them pop the app open a second, third, or fourth time when that's there? I think you've got the makings for it, but I don't know that it's all there yet. You need some kind of community interaction. You need something. The Chat GPT enables you to ask some questions. You got a couple other pieces of things popping up in notifications, but like what's going to make your peers want to come back to this?
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. The community engagement, kind of upvoting or downvoting, whether something's a scam or not. I also think they might need to find a partner in the cybersecurity space that is maybe willing to point people in their direction or vice versa.
I already know 1 or 2 people I could intro them to if they wanted to. All they got to do is reach out. So that's it.
There you go.
Score-wise, what are you thinking?
I thought both teams did outstanding this week, and I'm going to have a hard time giving any other score besides 1-1.
Man, you're good cop in this, and it's making it hard for me because I literally could go both points to Geringer right now. It's just they're just missing one piece here that is going to make it usable. I think they're going to be able to have a lot of people really amazed by the app and how it looks. I think they're going to, without a hook, they're going to have challenges still getting people to actually download it and use it versus some of the other things we've seen. So I'm also going to go 1-1, but I really think that they can take the lead next week if they go bonkers and maybe find a partnership, and maybe that partnership puts some kind of sponsorship dollars, an award, a prize pool where other people could go and start using it, and you brand it for the company. There's a lot of things you could do. So that's going to leave us here at the end of week 6. Geringer 2, JT Williams 2.
So I'll never get scammed. Was what my little bubble said. I wanted to see and test it out in real life here. So how did
You'll
I
never
do
get
that?
scammed. Not using that app.
No, that's right. With frauds, you have a friend to help you out. Fraud friend. The FF forfeit is what JT Williams. It's a little bit of psychology going on, I believe, if I'm not
Maybe.
mistaken.
There might be so.
Yeah, they're gonna have to use that against Ardrey Kell and see it. And maybe step up to the plate and bat right-handed. All right, we're going to take a quick break before the next series, but we'll be back with Hopewell facing up with Huff here on the CMS Varsity Esports in Stim League. Don't go anywhere. We welcome you back to the CMS Varsity Esports and STEM League, again alongside Discounts. My name is Bearlight, and we head into the next match here, Discounts, and it's Hopewell with the tough challenge here. They've got Huff coming up.
Yeah, Huff. I mean, coming off of, a 2-game win streak, and both of them were 3-0 sweeps. So, yeah, and they did it to Butler, too. So, yeah, big ones. Here's your breakdown right here.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got to adapt. We've seen him on the top 10 plenty of times. He's a big playmaker and can be. Boy Wonder as well to kind of add a little bit of dynamic nature to this Hub team, listed as Ninja here on this graphic. And then I made a Maya Train 21, which is obviously a Discord name because we've got Boy Wonder and Jeremiah to round out that roster, so we'll see them. Sphere, JK Dragon, and Suri on the other side here for Hopewell.
Suri is pro bronze it, correct?
That's correct. That's right. And then, I mean, you've got 4 losses off the bat, but they did get their first win last week, so that's something to perhaps write into this match.
And that's what I like to always point out is, well, they 3-0'd. They 3-0'd, North Mex. So do they carry this into a game against a tough opponent, Huff?
Yeah, it's yet to be seen. We've got Huff, of course, with their one loss to JT Williams. The rest of the season, not even something to be shy about either. I mean, Mallard Creek, rather, they beat 1-3-1. That's still a tough challenge.
Absolutely.
Same with Butler as well. A pretty decent challenge. 2-3-0 was the final of that one, too. But for Hopewell, that means it's going to be a tough challenge. Let's see if they can get to it. Game number 1 we have ready for you. Let's send you down to the pitch now and see if Hopewell can hang with this Huff high. The Huskies look to get out to it quick. Take it. They said they were ready, and then now we've got a bit of chit-chat, but we'll be on the pitch here momentarily as you see them instructions go whenever. And for Huff, they will look to do just that.
Yeah, if you're Hopewell, what is your go-to, playing against a team like Huff? Like, what are you mostly focused on, or if you're the captain of the team or coach, what are you trying to tell your team to focus on?
One of the things is something that we mentioned a little bit earlier, too, which is challenge consistently, right? Always be in their face. Even if you're out of boost, that doesn't matter at this point. They've got you beat on speed anyway.
Yes.
So be challenging constantly. Always be challenging. Your ABCs.
Absolutely, especially, like you said, they're going to be faster, which means they're going to be getting those, boosts. And if they're going to beat you to the boost, as long as you can beat them to the ball, then you're going to have a better shot. So definitely want to keep possession, as that was a crazy pinch, but Sphere is there to knock that one away.
We'll push in. It's Adapt. That's a good, favorable bounce for them. Almost found its way in, and they're still struggling to get to it. Sphere eventually will. But Hopewell looking a little bit rough there, but now a couple of challenges to push them forward. I would have liked to seen a bump there from JK. That would have been all sorts of open space for Hopewell there.
He faked out the first one. The second one had a challenge. As you see, Ninja now throws it in there. Great play.
Yeah, was able to just jump on it, adapt again that speed, beat them to 100 boost. Pro bronze it, I'd like to see challenge instead of go for that boost. You had just mentioned it, and I think it's true. Maybe you can catch Huff boost chasing, and that would be a huge help because you would be then at the ball beating them to it.
Have some open opportunities, and that could easily lead to some goals, and then they won't be going for the boost so much. A lot of people get boost hungry, but we see another one by Ninja slamming it in, and that's his 3rd shot and 2nd goal already, in this game 1.
Yeah, Ninja wanted that one and found a decent spot to put it back behind the last defender. And Huff out to a 2-0 lead. Minute 20 played here in this one, and for Huff, you wanted a decent start. That's what you've got. It's coming to JT Williams, but it was a 0-3 fashion. So one of the reasons why we continuously talk about this Huff team outside the top 5. And I'm going to have to say that I'm pretty much, stuck there in my mind unless we can see them with a little bit of a more impressive win on their schedule at least.
Yeah, right now Hopewell's just I'm even seeing some team bunks right now, and that's not going to go well, especially against this high-caliber team like Huff. And you see it right here, a walk-in goal, and Who is it? Of course, it's Ninja.
Yeah, okay, you know the Ninja's there for the hat trick, by the way, in the
Already.
first 2 minutes. And that was just a good read. It's not like he's doing anything fancy. And I like that because a lot of times you'll see the more favored team try to go for these fancy moves and then be bitten by it the other way.
Yeah, I've heard, a lot of tips and tricks when it comes to Rocket League because I try to up my game as well. As you see another goal here by Huff, but, a lot of people saying that you can get to champ and without even really doing too much stuff in the air. Like if you can just know where the ball's going to be, placement, and you can get all these great ranks by just playing fundamental Rocket League.
100%. In a 2v2 scenario where there's even more space than 3v3, you can get to Grand Champ that way, which is wild because that's some of the highest play we see here. 3v3, it still applies. I'm not sure if it's the same as 2v2, but at the same time, that just shows you that simplifying your gameplay, it definitely works. Now, obviously, you have to find creative ways around. So you can't just dribble it down the pitch every time, or can you?
Oh, he can! He can, and that's Ninja doing it once again.
What do I know? What do I know, man?
Oh, my goodness. That was just the caster curse happening, but I think Ninja is happy that the caster curse happened because that was an unbelievable play right there by Huff.
The rare caster buff there for him.
That was unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, Ninja, 4 goals for him. 5 total for Huff. That one bounces across. Sphere was actually headed back towards his own net. Had to be careful, but does circle around in time to at least force Ghost adapt, who we haven't heard much from, and they're still at 5-0. So if it's not broken, don't fix it, right? Do you want to get him more involved during this series?
Well, he's trying to right now, and he's popping it over their heads as well. So it looks like they're all trying to get involved here in game 1. And there's your setup. There's your pass, textbook. But the shot is just wide.
Yeah, and Sphere forced that a little bit high. Now, that should have been in the back of the net, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you like to see Sphere out there getting the challenge and forces him to think about it, to try and get it a little bit higher, right? Those are the sort of the things that you want to do against this team that's favored over you, is to get them thinking at least twice, maybe 3 times before taking an easy shot. And Ghost adapt with that 50-50, and now he is involved.
You're asking if he was going to get involved, and there you go. I think all you got to do is just talk good about or ask if Hopewell's going to get involved, and then we might have ourselves a close game. As Ghost Adapt puts this one in, and now 6-0. This game is getting out of hand in game 1.
Well, Hopewell. Let's see if he can get involved.
Yeah. Might be a little too late now, but maybe in game 2 we can try that again.
Give it a shot.
Oh, my goodness. That almost went in, too.
It still hangs there. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to toss that in my caster notes, by the way. Play from there. JK Dragon is eventually getting one down the field for Hopewell. It only got as far as midfield. As now turning on his adapt, and we'll kill some time. Try to dribble it just over to Jeremiah, and instead it'll be over to Ninja. We'll toss it back down, and they kill more time. And I'd love to see this from Huff. They controlled the first half of the game. They don't have to get fancy, continuously put goals in. Instead, they'll look to kill some time and just hop into the next game and try to dominate there as well.
Yeah, and that's really what they're doing when they're playing back on their defensive side. They're just they're knocking it down, getting the saves, and just like you said, killing some time, getting ready for game 2. But yeah, Hopewell definitely is going to have to play a little bit faster here in game 2. Pro Bron's a great shot right there, save, and thought it could have went coast to coast, but nevertheless, it looks like we might have a shutout in game 1.
Yeah, it certainly feels that way. Even starting to hear whispers, I know it's early, of sweep, though. But Huff, they haven't been as polished. It doesn't seem like every shot is hitting its mark, and credit Hopeful for challenging them a little bit. But Huff, at the same time, they would like to see a lot more of those shots go in some of their more difficult matchups. Still 6-0 is nothing to really be worried about by any means. We'll see if they can get 7. No, it'll hit the ground instead. It'll be Huff up 1-0 here in the series as well.
Yeah, and this is where you think about who's playing to whose level. Sometimes greater teams play down to competition, and then sometimes it's opposite. So if a team that's playing really well throughout the whole year is starting to play down to another bad level, then we can see upsets. So right now it's not looking that way in game 1, but hey, it's a best of 5.
For sure. I mean, we've seen Harding go down, what, I think it was like more than that, like 8 or 9 goals in game 1 and came back and found a win in the series. We'll see if they can find one themselves. I'd like to see them show up. In the meantime, we'll have to check out the Stim side instead. We have a cool project put together by your Huff High Huskies. I want you to check out this intro that they put together. It's always strong. Check it out.
Hello CMS Esports and STEM League. We are Huff High School, and our app is called Solar Portal. It is about clean energy, primarily solar, and is meant to educate and urge the user to lean more towards the usage of said solar energy. In focusing more on solar energy, we plan on advertising solar companies on our app. To start out, the advertising would obviously be as local as it could be, but through the possible expansion of our app, it could even lead to advertisements for bigger solar companies on a larger scale. In addition to this, we have also completed our work with the Firebase sign-in/sign-out capabilities, which will eventually serve important roles in the capability of our app. We plan on adding a few more key elements into our app, but as of now, we are developing a complete UI change to make our app look more appealing and professional. Looking forward, we plan on adding not only more advertising for solar energy within our app and a UI change, but maybe a possible minigame. In order to keep our app from solely dumping information onto the user, the minigame will serve the purpose of making our app more interactive and less dull. The minigame won't just serve as a game though, it will intermix information into it, that way the user is still able to learn while playing. Finally, for the past few weeks, we've been working on one of our app's biggest features, the carbon calculator. As these next few weeks progress, we plan to work more on the calculator, upgrade it a bit, and make it more functional and easy to understand. Thank you, and let's go Huff!
So we go back to the pitch now, and for those of you wondering, oh, that was the cool intro that Bearlight was talking about there. Apparently, they just replaced it with their logo.
Yeah.
At the same time, you got to think that's because they were focused on improving their app instead of improving their intro.
I think so. I just think the caster curse is just holding on to you tonight. That's what it looks like.
Try to justify it there. You said, no, that didn't work on me, dude.
I'm not letting that slide.
Right.
No, but no, you were right. That's so funny because they did have a cool intro every single week, and then this time was just, nah, we're not going to do that one.
Yeah, because Bear said it. They changed their project that quickly just to throw it at me. Well, let's see if Huff can pop back up to a 2-0 lead for Hopewell. They're going to look to make some changes themselves this time on the pitch. As Pro Bronze will get demoed there in the corner, but that allows JK the Dragon to jump back on it and challenge himself. And that was one of those instances where Huff got a little bit boost focused and possession just switched over to Huff there for a second.
Yeah, Hopewell just needs to stay on offense if they can, but wow, somehow Ghost Adapt put this one up in the air, and watch this again as it looked like they were trying to get back in goal. Pro Bronze was there, but not quite, as Huff does take the lead here in game 2.
That was a good attempt for a Platinum 1 or a Platinum player in general to, try to fight the momentum as you go back into your own net to try to tap it back out. Did a great job, almost got that touch. In fact, on our screens, it looked like he might have gotten that touch, but the physics of the game said no, sir. Instead, it found the back of the net here for a 1-0 Huff lead, and Jeremiah to look to keep the pressure on. Instead, it'll be Sphere to try and play back out. He just wasn't quite confident there, so Ninja back on it. And Ninja had a majority of the goals last time, too, for Huff. Had about 4 there, 3 of them to kick off the game.
Yeah, JK the Dragons is trying to demo Ninja. And I can't blame him. I definitely can't blame him for how well Ninja's been playing. So, yeah, you take him out of the game, he's not going to be able to score. So that is what they are doing. But now Jeremiah is now putting on some points.
Yeah, Huff has just that well-rounded roster. Anybody can give it to you at this point. And Jeremiah was, not the biggest goal scorer here, but at the same time is a very cerebral role player and was able to find that far side post to make it 2-0 here. And, Hopewell, I know they're up against Ninja, but this isn't the Fortnite Ninja, right? It's not an absolute, right? It's doable. So I like the fact that you're trying to focus on one player, maybe take them out as a goal scorer. Let's see them do a little bit more. There's a demo.
Do you think Ninja, the Rocket League player, does he do the pon-pon every time he scores?
Oh, 100%. You get influence, with the name. You also follow the same traits.
That's right.
As well, 100% do. I hope so, at least. I can only imagine.
That'll be fun.
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it as well. Love the pon-pon. as we can keep going. Here's Hopewell, just needs to get on the board is what they're hoping for. But Jeremiah looking to get his second goal of this game.
My goes adapt. Use the side wall to chip that towards the center. Knowing that there's nobody back here for Hopewell, look as Pro Bronze was out for boost.
Yeah.
Needs to get a touch your cans. That one's still hanging there in the box. Goes to Dap, trying to get around it. Pro Bronze eventually gets it, but ran into his own man in Sphere.
Yeah, they're just having a little bit of troubles when it comes to, the rotation. And look at that shot as Ninja was set up, doing his pon-pon dance right now, I'm assuming, as he gets another goal in this series.
Credit Jeremiah, too, for being so patient on that play, too. Instead of forcing a 50-50 that would have just played out to his own side, he was patient, got that touch eventually, and when his car aligned to just kill it there for Ninja to step up in his place, that was just quick thinking on your feet.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't think about that. They don't think about the person behind might have a better angle, might have a better shot.
That's right.
A lot of people just like to hit it just because they can. As we see another Jeremiah goal, he gets his chance as his second goal. But yeah, a lot of times you're kind of blindsided. I guess the tunnel vision is what I rather say, and that's what happens.
Because you get in that mindset of just go constantly, right? Green light, like get after it. Especially when you have quick teams across the pitch, that's what you're taught is just to play with speed and. Speed does help, but also knowing where you can be is good as well. And also recognizing kickoffs. So JK able to get Hopewell on the board here in game number 2 as goes to Dap. It looked like he faked it and Ninja just misflipped.
Yeah, that was just a fluke goal right there, but Hopewell will take it. I mean, any goal will help. And now they're avoiding the shutout. So definitely could be momentum going into, the last 2 minutes of this game.
Yeah, you got to hope so from Hopewell, but Ninja, or this Jeremiah this time, able to just tap it back towards their own end. It looked very harmless, but again, Hopewell, a bit of that tunnel vision we talked about.
Yeah, Jeremiah was just, you see how fast he is when it comes to that. Getting his hat trick, he's just all over the field, and that comes down to just, reps, repetition, just knowing when to go for the ball and knowing when your opponent's just going to get there a little bit faster. And once you learn that, that's when you know when you can go for the challenges, and you definitely learn as the more reps you get.
This one is Ninja back at it. Good challenge there from Sphere, though. We'll turn on the field. JK Dragon, they're the only ones here. It's a 3-on-1. And Pro Bronze had tried to get around it, but again, they just took a little bit too much time, and Hobbs Stevens rotated back around. This one directly to JK. Will change the course of the field, change the direction of the ball, gets a bump in the process, too. Pro Bronze waited for a miss. Jeremiah going to leave this one, too. Goes to Dap, missed, but so did the rest.
Yeah.
As the chain reaction of one miss just caused the rest of them.
Yeah, and that comes down to where you're just assuming your opponent's going to hit that.
Yep.
And you're playing off of off of what might be a hit, and a lot of times, some people will fake it or completely miss it, and you're not expecting that. So then you'll miss, and it's just a chain reaction.
It's such a mind game, too, at the higher levels these days, because there are purposeful misses for those fakes, right? But it happens
they
so
can actually call it fakes. I feel like a lot of times in, the lower level, they say fake, but it's a miss.
You're right. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
And even at the top level, that's still difficult to read, because the meta continuously changes, and it's really all about players' preference at this time. Is he a player that's known to fake it or miss it, right? And you have to play off of that.
And that goes right back to the chemistry. Do you know your opponents that well, or not opponents, your teammates as well, to that they go for fakes a lot, or just knowing playing with your guy, like, hey, he misses this a lot. I'm gonna trail him, and you score more goals on that, and you just kind of take it game by game how it goes.
No doubt. Ghost adapt kind of looked like a ghost there in net, because it seemed like it hit off the front of his car. I don't know if you saw that before it went into the back of the net, but Rocket League said, nope, we're going to give Hopewell one. And then Ghost Adapt got mad about it, and so he's going to give it right back at him and make it a 6-2 game.
Usually what happens whenever these fluke goals, you get mad at it and you go right back at it, and that's what Ghost Adapt just did. Definitely not a ghost on that one.
Yeah, was a ghost, then adapted. We're at 6-2. And right now, at the kickoff, Hopewell send 2 at the kickoff. Interesting strategy. They will continue to chase here into the corner. Sphere will try to jump at it. Got some help from Ninja as he launched across, but this will be a demo from Ghost. Time has expired. Or will do so once it hits the ground or in the back of the net? That one looked like it skimmed as well. A bit of a ghost touch or a ghost touch on the ground before it went in, but they'll take it again. Huff will have a decisive win in game number 2, and from what I've seen here, it just doesn't feel like anything's going to change.
No, Huff looks pretty good. They're just making their opportunities happen, and anytime they have the opportunity, it's a goal. So if they keep continuing to do this, it could be a sweep.
We'll check out this sick intro from the next STEM team here as we have, I hope so, it's Hopewell here, and let's see what they put together here for week 6.
Welcome to the Monotine app preview presented by the Hopewell STEM team. Monotine is a financial planning app that's specifically designed to empower young people by giving them power over their money. To address critiques from user feedback that we gathered over the last few weeks, we have fixed the user login system and provided ways for users to input data and get customized resources, both in the resources section of Monotine and in the goal setting section, which can allow users to create savings plans which are generated with assistance from the AI model ChatGPT. We've also added more options and account settings for users to be able to change, and added the ability for users to recommend resources that are then screened and approved for the app. All of these additions to Monotine work to create a truly robust service that offers users the opportunity to have control over their finances through budgeting, goal setting, and personalized resources.
Back into game number 3 we go. It'll be Huff looking to close out here. We had mentioned that Hopewell hasn't done enough to convince us, and one of the reasons why is because we were hoping they would catch Huff sleeping at some point, but they haven't been asleep at all.
No, not at all, and I was going to say hopefully Hopewell is going to get that pinch to go, but did not go their way, and that's kind of been the story this whole series, not going their way for Hopewell. But Huff doing a great job by continuing their little win streak that they got. The last 2 series, they've, got sweeps against Butler and Northman.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, they've gotten to a place where they've been able to play confidently, and they'll continue that too. As you see, Boy Wonder getting an appearance here for Huff, was listed as one of the original starters for this squad, so love to see him back in the lineup here for Huff as well, to try to get out a win here from Hopewell, especially when you're up 2-0. You're pretty confident you're going to win. Get some of those players some experience that they need.
Absolutely, and there you go. Right out of the box. Great play by Boy Wonder. Yeah, and great play. I mean, that was just textbook, and you like to see that from subs coming in, and you definitely want it because maybe your full 3 might not be there during playoffs, or something might have come up, and now you need to know how to play with someone like Boy Wonder.
No doubt. You could joke about it, but we talk about injuries. It has happened. We actually have had players in this league who have broken their arms, right, and wearing casts, their gameplay a little bit affected. Like, it happens. These are real things. You really never know, so you want to get the experience here too. Plus, you can also build a farm team, if you will, right? A team of players, a JV squad that can hop in at any time as well and just develop those players further, because you're always going to have these players graduating next semester, right? And so you'll have to play with those seniors and maybe play with some of the younger players. That way when the seniors graduate, you have a little bit more hope.
Absolutely, and Huff already up 2-0 here in Game 3. Doing it looks like they're just doing exactly what they've been doing this whole series, and that's just dominating, especially even with Boy Wonder. I mean, it doesn't look like they missed a beat.
Not at all. They continue to just roll into this one. It's been about 2 minutes, so Hopewell, I've seen a little bit more, but got to see much more here in the last 3 minutes to try and pull it off. Sphere will try to challenge, but it's to take him off the pitch, and in fact this one will hop in front, and Boy Wonder came out of basically nowhere to tap that one in far side. 3-0.
Yeah, and he's got all 3 goals. I mean, he's already got a hat trick in the first 2 minutes as a sub. Just great plays by Boy Wonder coming in clutch.
Definitely. We'll have to get you the full story on Boy Wonder, because I'm not convinced that he's actually stepped to the side as a sub. Maybe they started with the sub. We actually speculating at this point. I know I started that conversation, so But either way, I mean, a hat trick 3-0 coming off the bench, regardless, that's pretty big.
Absolutely. And now Jeremiah's term goes in and 4-0 Huff. Ninja, great pass right here, right off the top cross. Jeremiah knew it was going to drop down and just executed perfectly.
Yeah, I was able to read. The anticipation is just a little bit stronger from Huff. I say a little bit, but it's been there. But there's a kickoff goal. It seems to be right at that 4-1 mark every single time, too.
And it's the same guy, JK the Dragon. He's the one that always has these kickoff goals, and that was right over the car, too. So great goal there. Hopewell getting on the board. No shutout here in Game 3.
And Boy Wonder back on it, trying to get his 4th goal. As he'll follow this one, it's got 39 boosts in the tank. The extra touch with the pinch over Jeremiah. And they almost made something happen there. Instead, it went to the corner. And left for JK Dragon. Push forward by Ninja. Try the Doomsy dish there from the back wall. Haven't seen that in a while. As the Nipsey Tuckle, what is it? The Nipsey Tussle, I think is what Tark used to call it back in the good old days when he was casting on the Rocket League pitch with us.
Yeah, we need Tark back on the mic for one appearance.
Do we?
Yeah. Maybe one game.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe one
Just to relive the old days,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, 100%. Well, this one will fly high. Sphere will keep it alive here for Hopewell. Hoping to keep his team's chance alive here in the series. But it just hasn't been the case when Boy Wonder has been all over it. In fact, right on cue, able to get that challenge too. It falls to JK Draken. No, we'll take a shot, but that one's red. And Ninja will get back to it. We haven't seen him score since game number 1. So Ninja been a little bit removed from it. And perhaps maybe he's the one gaining that experience for Huff moving forward because he's the one that's not listed on the starting roster, to be honest.
Yeah, and one thing I was hoping to see from Hopewell was Pro Bronze kind of taking lead, and right now it just has not been that way tonight. We've seen him in other nights where he's, been their star and he's been scoring for them a lot, and right now it just has not had the opportunities as much as he has in the past.
No doubt. We saw him with a good opportunity there, at least to create a chance, but a little bit off the mark there defensively, and Jeremiah 5th goal here for Huff. Minute 13 left. At this point in time, Huff, all they have to do is kill some time. In fact, Jeremiah didn't really jump on it as quickly. He just wanted to kind of kill it there, but found the back of the net instead.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. When you're least expecting it, it just happens. The game will give you a lot of things, and sometimes it will do you dirty. And, usually I get the other end. I always get the bad part. But I feel like that's everybody saying that, right? Everyone says that, they, get the bad part of the stick, right?
Yeah, because it's like those moments that you don't want. It sticks in your brain a little bit more. I get it.
Probably.
Totally get it. Maybe. There's got to be a science to it, but nothing that we can diagnose.
It might be the caster curse the same way, but just when I play.
My gameplay is just one big
just a curse.
I am a caster, therefore my gameplay is cursed. It makes sense why we're not playing anymore.
Absolutely.
We're instead in the booth. 6-1 scoreline. Ninja here with the 6-1 Huff as they look to close out in Brazil fashion. I know it's going to be the case.
It's probably going to.
You know what it is. 100%.
Yeah, and Huff definitely, they might pass it up. They got 33 seconds, and they've been handling business throughout this series, and I think they might pass up the Brazil, but who knows? We'll see if they listen to our advice in the past series.
And they might not get it at all because Pro Bronze is going the other way. He's going to try to chip it across. Got it, one initial touch on it, but unfortunately his car kind of rolled underneath it, so he wasn't able to get that touch to go off the back wall and serve as a pass.
Yeah, just off, off game, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. It happens to everybody, and that happens to, the professional athletes, professional players, professional esports players. You're not always going to have your best series or best games, and it's just very unfortunate, but it happens.
So Huff takes care of business. Again, it's been the moral of the story here tonight and continues into this one. Well, we have the judges for the stim portion. They're going to see who took care of business on that stim side. We toss it over to the desk now. Tark, what you got over there?
Starting with Huff, Malcolm, the solar portal, a good intro. That was part of what they needed to do this week. I believe they need to go out and get a sponsor. They have a really tough challenge having gone after this solar portal kind of app experience. We've said every week how challenging it is. Seems like they've got, are making some progress. They need to figure out how to get a sponsor in that solar industry to come in there and, help power them to a victory here with some sponsorship. If they need our help, they can call on us here in the next week, and we can either join meetings where they have found it or get involved and try to find them some intros as well. They stated they were doing the complete UI change, but that should have been the last 2 weeks, in my opinion. They need to get on it. Again, they mentioned the coolness of the carbon calculator there and what they were focusing on. I didn't really understand exactly what they did, though. They needed to showcase that more.
Yeah, I mean, I still wonder exactly what's going to make users come back to this experience. It's starting to look really good, and I like the idea, especially, not even just a sponsor, but maybe finding a partner and building an app for them for a small solar company that doesn't have that capability in-house. I think that would be a huge value add to a potential partner. As for, continuing to develop the UI, the mini game feature, I think that's a great idea to get people to come back, but I still want to see a little bit more.
Yeah. On Hopewell's side with Monotine, a good intro. Once again, they explained what this app was. They didn't just make people assume they knew it. They fixed the user login, also good. I want to see more about that special functionality they focused on, how they are integrating the ChatGPT AI API into all of this to show AI at work. Again, love that they're doing it. A little hazy on exactly how they're using it, and then how they're going to integrate that in there. That user experience, how they do it, is going to be completely the key to success or failure.
Yeah, so I think I tested their app, and I couldn't quite tell if sign up was working or not. I don't know if I was just, it's just my boomer fingers, or what the problem is, but AI integration could be a huge here if they can pull it off. And one other comment on the presentation, it seemed like kind of an abrupt ending. I don't know if they just like hit the minute 30 mark and, got pulled off.
Peaced out.
Yep.
I don't know. What do you think about scores here?
I think I'm going to go 1-1.
Good cop it. Yeah, I think it's going to all come down to what they do from this point forward, especially you can't hide anymore when you hit week 7, right? When people are actually playing the game or using the app. So I'm going to also go good cop 1-1. That's going to leave us here at the end of week 6. Huff 2, Hopewell 2.
There you go. There you have it. Again, STEM continues to be one of those things that has been improved upon last season, but then continues to be how can we improve going forward as well.
Absolutely.
Well, we have our next matchup, so we're going to get to it. Let's head into it. Why not? Rocket League action coming at you. It's Garinger at 3-2 facing off with Butler at 2-3.
Yeah, I mean, this is a matchup, right? This is a big matchup. 3-2 for Garinger, 2-3 for Butler, and this could easily flip and make it even if Butler can somehow come out on top on this one.
What's crazy is we talk about Garinger. We talked about Akko as being one of those leaders for this team and being an all-star. We have Ian Warrior as well joining him all here. So Garinger going to be very tough to handle here as they come in with Fear Ghosty this time as their third to face off with Butler. Coming in with Can't Touch This, Sav, and Lying Sniper to round out that roster. This is a pivotal match. Remember, those 3-2 and 2-3 marks, you have to play tough.
There's plenty of teams that have that record, and that's why it's such a big deal for, these next couple weeks, next 3 weeks actually, to, get these wins. So especially against a team that's kind of in your same realm of record as we see, like you said, Ian Warrior out here for blood as well. Gets on the board for Garinger first.
Yeah, they do. And we'll fix Garinger as well. There's 2 R's currently, but we'll get you the right spelling there too. And they get off quick start as well. So Garinger looking strong. Butler has always been kind of a wild card to me. And one of the reasons I say that, Discounts, is because, I mean, East Mech is a decent team. They swept them 3-0. They played Rocky River really close, 2-3. They went to Game 5 there with Rocky River. But they have lost the last 3, including Olympic. They were swept in Huff as well. They were swept. So it's tough to know which Butler team is going to show up. If they have everybody clicking on all cylinders, they can certainly be a force to be reckoned with. But right now, we'll have to see in what they bring against this tough Garinger team.
Yeah, very true. But then going back to look at Garinger, how they, their schedule kind of went. East Mech 3-0 week 1, then Rocky River 3-1. Rocky River, we've seen, some great gameplay from them. Then, of course, Audrey Kell, that was a little bit of a challenge. Audrey Kell handled business. Then they handled business, though, against Independence, and that's another team that is a pretty good team. But we have another shot by Geringer that should go in, and it does, as now Geringer up 2-0.
And Solar getting their first appearance, or Geringer as well in this game. I don't know if we called that out too. So a new face for Geringer coming in. Typically we see Lego Gamer in this spot, so a different individual to take their spot. For Butler, we see a combination of 3 that we are familiar with. And on the other side, we have Ian here, who's yet to strike yet, but I mean, his time is coming. We already know it just by the way he's been this season. Probably the most improved player in my eyes this season.
Yeah, I agree. He's one of those players where at the beginning you didn't think he was going to be kind of leading the team. And obviously you got Akko, but he has been stepping up to the plate and really filling in well with this team.
See Supra in the air there with some pretty solid car control. So Supra has been one of those players we said he needs to lead the team. Again, on paper, is one of the stronger players on this team.
Yep.
But also a freshman, so
Yes.
got a little bit of learning to do. But you saw a little bit of a sneak peek of what he can do there. In fact, good patience there, too, on the defense to kick it out. So although he hasn't quite been that dynamic for Butler this season, I mean, there's still plenty of time left in the season. You got 3 weeks to put it together.
Absolutely, and that's a lot of time. I mean, a lot of hours that you can be playing in between, your actual matches and, just getting better. Are these guys going into freestyle? Are they looking back on their film? And that's when it comes down to who is really going to be doing their homework to, going forward in the future, make it count. Make these games actually count. And, going through as we see another goal, and that's Akko this time, getting his first goal of this series, putting it in. Now Geringer up 3-0. And Butler High definitely backs against the wall already in game 1.
Yeah, it's just Butler came out and was just kind of hanging around, right? It wasn't really making anything their own, right? It wasn't making their own way. It's a problem that we've discussed a few times here tonight. It's frankly been a rough night for close matchups, and it's just the better teams just executing too. That one stayed on the goal line for a while. Ian was able to close out.
Watch this again though. This pass right off of the side wall, but then another. I mean, there was just great teamwork, follow-throughs, and everything for Geringer, and that's why this team is a really tough team to go up against. They're all 3 could score.
Yeah, and they swarm.
Yeah.
Right? It's something that we talk about with JT Williams, with Audrey Kell. So it kind of makes you wonder. Geringer, we've said they have a potential to push into, the top 5 equation. But why haven't they been able to? I mean, they lost to Palisades 1-3. So Palisades not a bad team at all. In fact, they might be a top 5 team.
Yeah,
right. They're up there. However, you got to win those, and to lose it 1-3 was a bit questionable. But Geringer's showing why they, or at least, are part of the conversation in the meantime.
Yeah, absolutely. And then of course, week 3 against Audrey Kell. I mean, it's Audrey Kell. They, that is at least top 2, if not top 1 in this league. And it's just always going to be a hard team to play. But a team like Palisades, great team. But Ian Warrior, I'm telling you, this Geringer team can handle. They can handle it. It's just, will they be able to do that against a top team once again?
Yeah, that chip across from Akko was pretty impressive, too. The setup was great. And Ian, you can tell he's been hitting the training packs. There's a reason why he's improved. Those angles, he's got them, right? It doesn't matter if it's a difficult angle, if it needs to be a redirect down the field, if he needs to direct it in a certain fashion to get a pass off. Ian's got it basically down to a T because of the hours you can tell that he puts into that replay.
Exactly what we were saying right before, at the beginning of this game is who's putting in the hours, who's putting in their homework. We definitely can see Ian is doing it.
Yeah, and constantly, right? I say most improved this season. What I really meant is from season 0 to season 1, because I mean he started out of the gate super hot anyways.
Absolutely.
In week 1, he was great,
and it just only got better each and every week. And you love to see that, and you're like, eventually he's got, he's going to hit a plateau, right? I haven't seen it yet. Every time I get a cast, for Geringer, I swear, it's every time, I'm talking about how well Ian has improved from the following week.
Yep, constantly. Just point of conversation always. Here you see Geringer kill some time. We'll put it back down the field and make it difficult for Butler to do basically anything. As now it'll be a touch out. Holds, kind of handcuffs the defense there momentarily. Echo will eventually get to it. The freshman left it. Sorry, he's a junior now, so it's very rare to see a team and have one of the older players, I say older, it's still a young individual, but still leading the way in talent. I mean, that might actually play in Geringer's favor when you have a leader, an older voice as well, to not only have the talent to show, and maybe that's one of the reasons why Ian's improved so much.
You got the veteran. You have somebody who can kind of lead you through. They've been there and done that in the prior seasons. So, yeah, if you have someone a little bit older that can kind of just lead you through it, yeah, of course.
Just a thought. Yeah, perhaps it matters. Maybe if you have a freshman, they could be just as vocal too. I get that. But more chances than not, perhaps that could be very favorable for them. Let's check out the STEM portion now as we have. And it's going to be Butler to kick things off here for their STEM side. So their game development is going to be into week 6. They got that advice from the other team, right? Their opponents last week. Let's see what changes they made this week. I believe that they actually may not have had a submission.
Uh-oh.
We're going to get you the details here. I think that was the case. Uh-oh. Butler. We talked about it.
Man. Step up your game.
Let's, oh my, no submission for Butler. So we got to move on to game number 2 here. Not how you wanted to start off Rocket League. Definitely not how you wanted to start out STEM 2. Taking that 0, that's tough.
All right. Yeah, that's not what you want to see, but we're here in game 2 now. See if they're going to be able to step up here in game 2 and then get the submission on the STEM portion.
Yeah, and they'll have to show up, even though they're able to show up there. So now a quick turn. It'll be Solar back in the zone. This corner, back off, and Devi trying to tap it, but there's Echo right there. Stealing the boost from the defense will make it just even more difficult. Credit Super for stepping up at that exact right moments, and we'll try to challenge it here to keep it away from Solar, and a couple of touches will do just that.
Back and forth right now, but you know how fast Geringer's going to play, and just get ready for the passes and great chemistry, because they've been doing that all in game 1. So I wouldn't see why all of a sudden in game 2 they stop that. You know, they've been playing phenomenal in game 1, so see if they can continue to do so. But that's a shot right there on Geringer.
Yeah, and they'll continue here. Supra again, you see him on the sidewall prepared. A touch!
Oh!
Far side shot, Supra! Starts off the scoring here for Butler.
And wow, well, it looks like Butler stepped up their game here on the esports side as a great shot there by Supra.
Yeah, far side was able to find it, and the mechanics to follow it up. So, yeah, that's what they needed for sure. Doctor ordered an early goal, and Butler delivered. This one will be Supra again to touch away. This will play the corner. A chance to shot right back at you. Solar able to even it 1.
Yeah, Geringer will not, you know, they're not going to take that lightly. You know, you score on them, you're gonna get their best right back, and that's exactly what happened. You know, only a minute 4 into this game, and they tied it up within like 5 seconds of that pass goal from Butler.
The kickoff, Solar trying to come right back at him again. He just seems to have a fire underneath him right now as they, sub for Geringer, or at least a player, maybe a new addition to the roster. Either way, has been effective to be quick and try to answer back. But Butler doing a good job defensively, at least to hold it out at an arm's length temporarily. So we'll fall to Devi. They were going to miss it first, but the shot was there, and that actually stunned Supra. Had to kind of collect his thoughts and get a touch away to the corner and at least relieve some pressure here for Butler.
I think he panicked as soon as he hit that straight up. He was hoping the opponent wasn't up in the air, and you know, thank goodness they weren't, and he was able to get that one away. But still, they have the ball on their side. But now it looks like Butler has an opportunity. But Geringer does a great job on getting him right back.
And I like the way that Devi was really up and on that potential challenge there, too. But it'll come back to him.
Great
and
pass.
Geringer will be able to take that 2-1 lead. You're right.
Yeah, watch this pass right here as he gets it right over the top. The great bounce. Supra couldn't do anything with that, and Echo just waiting for it.
Yeah, just use the kind of corner, the the slope of the wall as it first develops upwards, and was able to kind of chip it in a way across the spot where Garinger was able to find it. So all the things that they did right for Butler. Great save, though, from Devi. And Devi has gotten a lot of great plays in here recently. You know, that first challenge back down the field when Butler had a real grade A scoring chance, well, they weren't able to calculate it. He was part of that too.
Absolutely. He's all over the field and helping out Butler, I mean, to the extreme, honestly. He's all over the field. So him and Supra, they can keep this going. I mean, they can make this game to a, you know, a close one.
Right back. Little flick to get past one. I mean, you credit Butler for finding creative ways around it, and it just, if they had a little bit of more consistency. I talked about it in the pregame. Again, I think this could be a really solid team.
Absolutely. They're making a miss, but just in the right opportunities, they're not really getting much. And, you know, Garinger's doing a really good job on the passes and shots, but, you know, Butler right now just hanging. I mean, I'll give him credit compared to game one. Right now, this is a lot better gameplay.
Garinger right back at him. This time a touch up. Akko already up, but he's way well past it. Last man back has been beaten. Run it back. Will run it back. And now it'll be a 2-2 tie as Butler has come back in this one.
Yeah, and that just shows you got to wait for those opportunities. He found it, run it back, saw that, and took it all the way coast to coast, and you know, it was just wide open. So great job right there by Butler High to keep this one close. And only a minute 43 left, Bear, but you know, in Rocket League, that's a long time.
Yeah, with the ship, defense does get back. That was a big save there from Devi. And now a touchdown from Supra beats them. And another touch. The quick speed there from Supra back down the field. This one off the corner. Now they'll try to challenge. The pinch didn't quite get enough, but it still finds its way through. So forgive me when I said it wasn't enough. That one was very dangerous, and they're catching Garinger sweating here late.
Yeah, I mean, just a couple opportunities they had, but now it's going back the other way as Garinger is possible. What great defense here by Butler. They are now coming out of the gate and they're playing some Rocket League. I'd love to see it.
I'm telling you, Coach Bigman has figured something out, and that's back wall defense. Notice that constantly Garinger is just trying to toss shots on, and it's been high just about every time. Now that's why you'll see a member of Butler constantly on the back wall to challenge and kick it out. This is the one exception, and they get scored on. Yep. No coincidence.
Yep, Ian Warrior was right there waiting for that ball to drop right in front of the goal, and that was Akko, the one who got the pass. He gets the assist as well.
Yeah, that's, again, another caster curse. I was like, hey, they've been guarding that back wall. It's been great for him.
We were talking way too good about Butler. They said Garinger's going to have to get one here. And look at this pitch as Ian Warrior gets his second goal within 2 seconds. Not even, probably 0.5 seconds.
If that. I mean, that was just off the kickoff in a bit of ball bounce luck, but take those from time to time. And Garinger now looking more and more like they're going to close out this series, and your heart hurts for Butler a little bit, knowing that they really did put the pressure on, and Garinger now just getting
shaking my head on that. Very unfortunate. Well, I guess very fortunate for Garinger, but very unfortunate for the Butler team, not able to, you know, just let that one fall off of a pinch.
Yeah. So no more back wall presence and no more defensive gyms for Butler. I don't think it's a coincidence. That's got to be a learning experience. Yeah. Right? That was really, truly making a difference there. Until I pointed it out, they didn't do it, and unfortunately, it's downhill from there.
It was just looking like they were going to get their third goal there to, you know, make it only a 1-point game, but a great defense by Garinger, and they're trying to let this ball hit the ground. Well, Garinger isn't, as they are just trying to keep one up and hopefully get one for the boys.
And that will do it as Solar able to put that one down for game number 2, and Garinger will head to match point. They are threatening to make it all 3 zeros here tonight on the Violet stream, as we call it these days.
I mean, I got to give credit, though. We got to give credit. They played really well in Game 2. Yep. Will they play even better in Game 3? We've been seeing that in the past, where their teams are just getting better and closer each and every game. Now, we've seen a lot of sweeps. Yep. Are we going to see another one?
That's right. Well, in the stim portion, it's hard to not get better when the first submission was a non-submission.
Correct.
But we do have Myers Park going up against them, so don't be confused. Myers Park, again, was one of those teams that just came into the league, so they would be challenging Butler in that sense. Not that it'll be much of a challenge, but let's see what they put together anyways.
Hi, this is Jackson from Mars Park again, and today we're going to be showcasing our game Knights of the Realm. As you probably know, it is a medieval-themed tower defense game, and we've been putting in a lot of work over the past few weeks and are very excited to show you how it is going. The biggest upgrade, we would say, is the addition of the shop, where the player can buy their own towers to defend themselves. By hitting right-click, the waves will start. The towers will automatically search out their targets and shoot them. Each skeleton you destroy is 2 coins, and each round you go, the number of skeletons increases. Once we hit wave 5, you will also see the Dark Elf, which is a also recently added mob. It is like the skeleton, except it is much faster. There she is. The other large new feature we have added is the upgrade feature, and the ability to see the range of all your towers. By hitting upgrade, you can increase the rate of fire, turret, and rotation speed. Thank you.
Well, would you look at that?
I love those type of games though, the balloon tower defense type. I love that strategy game. Where do you put your army? How do you defend your castle?
Yeah, and Tark was saying all about how you make it unique, right? And so the theme seems to be the go-to for that. Maybe shooting the bow backwards. It's a little bit. We were talking about that a little bit. Yeah, exactly. It's all in good fun. For sure. For Garinger, it has been good fun, except for Butler was kind of bouncing back a little bit. We'll see if game number 3 is where they truly shined here to end our streak of 3-0s for the night.
Yeah, and you have to give it to Butler how well they put up a fight there in game 2. So let's see if they can use that momentum here in game 3, because, Supra, he's had his moments. And wow, great that precision on that shot from Ian Warrior. Watch this one again.
Yeah, it's Davy here to chip it backwards and or forwards, but unfortunately it was right to where Ian was parked, and he will not think twice about that one. He's practiced that 1,000 times. That's in his training pack after all.
I mean, he said top right corner pocket.
Yep.
Bang, right into it as Garinger takes the lead here in game 3. 4 minutes still remaining. Plenty of time for Butler to, make a little comeback. But Garinger also has a lot of time to keep it going.
For me, Butler, I like their sportsmanship, though. We saw in the chat they're giving them up the nice shots to Garinger. So, I guess when you're challenging a better team, that's a good, kind of say that right now. It feels good that they're trying to improve and focus on that part of their game instead.
Absolutely, and a lot of times whenever I'm playing somebody a little bit better, I'm trying to learn as I play.
Absolutely.
Because it's like, what is this guy? How is he a little bit better, or how is she a little bit better? Find out what they're doing, and a little bit faster to the ball. Okay, maybe I just need to not think about it a little bit too much and react more. And that's just an example. Obviously, there could be others. Example as we see Akko get his team up by 2. But yeah, I mean that's what you want to learn and want to see.
Back down to one more as Debbie tries to basically play off the touch of run it back, but unfortunately he'll be met, and Akko will send it to the back wall yet again. We talked back wall into the defense of it. We haven't seen much of it from Butler again this game. So we have surrendered 2 goals. Lego shot, top shelf. Wow, what a placement. Again, Garinger just allowed the chance to find those now.
Yeah, welcome back, Lego, as he puts that one in. Great shot. Precision right now from Garinger in game 3. These shots are just top tier. Yeah. Absolutely.
100% S tier type of placements on all of these shots. I mean, you have to figure maybe that's one of the strategies of Coach Lazy, who's not lazy, instead going to put these players and make sure they are in their training packs and finding those shots. And accuracy is and can be a difference in those close matchups that they've been trying to win. Might have been one of the things he saw in that loss to Palisades 1-3 last week, or a couple weeks ago, I guess.
Very might well be. I mean, it's one of those things where you know, just learn from that. And possible shot opportunity. It looks like, I mean, they're just putting the pressure on Butler this game 3. Really had. That would have been a great pass if they could have finished it, but oh man, as Ian Warrior's still going to probably be able to get this clear. I don't know, maybe set up Butler, maybe?
Trying. I mean, they're trying to press in, but Akko will do enough to just kind of deter that as well in a 1v1 sense. Was able to kind of carve through a couple of opponents, and now from the ceiling, look at that read from Akko as he knew that was coming back down. That's some pro-level stuff right there. That kind of read is awesome. Quite follow that one too, which is not something I've said very much this season, but I guess it happens.
Akko's all over the field. I mean, he is playing really well off that wall. I know he's been going left or right. I feel like he's playing by himself at least in the last 30 seconds.
No doubt, it all started from that read from the ceiling. I feel like it doesn't get utilized enough. You can literally drive up the walls, so why not use the ceiling from time to time? But run it back will put Butler back within 2, so again, not a lost cause quite yet in this series. They just have to piece together more goals like that, and challenging the box is the way to start it.
Anytime you feel like Butler's, getting away from the lead, just kind of, getting defeated, and then you turn around and they put up a goal. So then it comes back, the spark comes alive, and they have that momentum. They see the light at the end of the tunnel, but can they finish is the question.
Shot back in, Butler keeping a little bit of pressure on, but Devi will be bested in that 50-50 situation where it looked like he might have a little bit of life. Now we'll go and gather the 100 boosts before looking down the field for a teammate. Unfortunately for him, teammates were retreating. And Supra good patience to wait for a teammate to get that touch initially, but it will be Akko back from the side wall. And we'll be eyeballing Ian, a good chance across, but it will be collected by Butler, who needs to move forward. Unfortunately, no touch available there.
Yeah, right now Lego has a possible goal opportunity, and no, it's going to be Akko with a shot, but great save for Butler, and now it's going to go the other way. Let's see if they're going to have a shot opportunity. They need to score here in the next 10-15 seconds if they want to have a shot at this game.
Akko trying to just put the nail in the coffin there with that shot. Unfortunately, did not make contact. And now Supra allowed the chance to get a shot, but Lego, good recognition. So, just came into the series for the first time and made one of the biggest reads to make sure this is still a 2-goal game.
Yeah, I mean, he's made the shots, he's made the saves, he's made the cutoffs, he's done basically everything he's got to do to, just end this game and end this series. And it looks like that's exactly what just happened.
Butler had a couple bumps there, and in fact had another opportunity there late, but it won't be enough. It'll be Geringer with the 3-0 pattern continuing, and a sweep for them will hopefully for them bring some confidence back to this squad, who has looked pretty solid otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely. Geringer needed that, with that loss with Palisades last week.
Yeah.
And, so that was a little bit of spark, and hopefully they can carry that into week 7.
Well, I think it's going to be a relatively quick judging of the stem side this time around. Unfortunately for Butler, they weren't able to get one in. So let's see what the judges have to say about it. I don't think they're going to take it very easily here, Discounts.
I don't think so.
Let's check it out.
It's week 6 varsity STEM showdowns. Malcolm, what's week 6 judging all about?
Well, it's all about the teams refining their video pitch, telling people what their app is all about really quickly. Implementing advanced features like AI integration, Chat GPT, and getting people to come back for some reason, whether it's a leaderboard or something else.
Now, the most important part when we read the scores in a second is that week 7 starts, and week 7 is totally different. It's about launching your game to the public, getting as many people to play and download it. And next week, 1 week from tonight on Wednesday Night Lights, we'll be downloading and playing your game or using your app, and that's how we'll judge you. So you've got to get to work. Let's get into the action. All right, Butler versus Myers Park in the game dev stream here. Butler strangely submitted only the game itself and not the video. So this puts us in a unique spot, I think, where I actually sat and played the game for a minute, which was pretty cool. but I wasn't sure what was done. What did you know about Butler that I didn't?
Well, 2 weeks to make their video, and the dog ate the video, took a bite out of it, got corrupted, whatever the excuse is. I don't know. The game looks really good. It's hard to know.
Hard to know.
Yeah.
Well, let's go over to my home high school, Myers Park of the Mustangs. And let me tell you something. This game is turning out to be potentially amazing. It's almost there. It's almost there. The Realm Tower Defense stuff, the shop to buy towers. I heard that mentioned. I didn't see the UX of the shop. Like, that's something where, as you know, when you're over there nerding out on Valorant, that's the econ part of the game, and the shop and that little segment. How you create that into this UX, I think, is going to be, it's going to make all the difference. And I'm going to be looking close to that next week, how that shop, how that econ part of the game works. The range of the tower, the dark elf, the ability to upgrade the width of all that stuff. Amazing. I love that. I'm still worried about the hook. Will people keep playing this? Like, I can see that someone really easily could come in and want to play this once. But is it hard enough, complicated enough, yet not impossible enough where strategy makes you want to keep coming back and playing? You've got to get that hook figured out in here. That idea I gave you a couple weeks back, I don't know if that's going to work or not, but I mean, it should inspire you. Like, if someone could preset the order of what's going to happen where they could try to trick, playing offense and you're playing defense. I don't know what the answer is, but it's got to be something that is hard but not impossible, and it keeps getting harder, so you keep wanting to play it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
A lot.
Yep. But I think ultimately, they might have to find something that's kind of theme that's maybe a little bit different than the medieval tower defense. I don't know if that would be a huge rebuild, but could be even like fighting Chat GPT AI off, as we're all going to have to do in the next 10 years.
So you don't like the this time period stuff?
I like it. This is my bread and butter. If they wanted to really catch on fire, it needs something extra.
Yeah, I think it needs, if you're going to stick with the medieval thing, right, your hook needs to be amazing of how people are going to keep playing. Like, I see
it could
how
even progress through, medieval age to whatever came after that.
Yeah.
Renaissance.
Cool. But I think the point here is, like, the strategy needs to be about the econ, right? And about, like, if you don't do the econ game well, there's no way you're going to get ahead to the levels, and it just keeps going and keeps getting harder. We're spending this extra time here because this is such a cool game with potential if it's done right. I don't know. So scores, let's go.
I'm going to go 2 Myers Park.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Saw him working on it late last night. They had a teacher in there,
that's
too.
Smart. That's smart. All right, then I'm going to go 1-1 because I played the Butler game and yelled Kia out several times. But I think Myers Park definitely deserved the win here. That's 1 point Butler, 3 points Myers Park.
Well, I mean, it's what we expected. I don't think there's anything more intimidating than when a Tantark is looking at the camera with his mean eyes. And when his eyes get large, forget about it.
Death stare is what I saw. I mean, he was eyeballing. Side eye, too. I mean,
and at this point in the season, oh my, it is tough, Butler. But
you don't want to be on Tark's bad side.
What it is.
That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely not.
Send in those submissions, guys.
Get them in today, for sure. And make sure you get them ready for Week 7, which will be coming at you on Wednesday night. Lights, of course, next week is when we return discounts. Decent night tonight. We'll see if they can step it up next week.
Yeah, and, these next couple weeks are huge. This is the time where you're placing these playoffs, and some teams are going to get snubbed out, and some teams are going to get in. We saw in past season where we thought a team was going to make it, and they did not. And that was also due to STEM portions, too. So, it also works both ways, STEM side and also esports side. So
that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Just got to keep at it.
Keep at it.
What they say for sure. Well, the Gray channel is still coming up, is still going on, so make sure you go and check out the Gray stream now. Just add a B to your URL right now and go check out Hill Monkey Man, who's joined now by Wolfie, who's taking the spot of Mr. Bepic. So see what they have to say with the remaining matchups here for CMS Esports League. And from all of us here at the CMS Esports League, we wish you a great night.